ASU will get the ball first. Before we get to the opening kickoff, let's meet the third member of our broadcast team. She is Rebecca Harlow, and she is with Dennis Erickson.
Thanks, Barry. Tonight you face one of the best offenses in the entire nation, but you've got a lot of speed on your side on defense. How do you slow these guys down?
Well, I mean, that's what you can do is slow them down. You're not going to stop them. We just got to be disciplined. You know, make sure we cover our gaps, make sure we know the assignments on option, and then we've got to tackle. I mean, tackling is the key to the game.
Thanks, Coach.
And the opening kickoff. Short kick by Beard. It's going to be handled by Middlebrooks at about the 3-yard line. Make it Bolden at the 3-yard line, and Bolden gets it back to the 25-yard line. So a good job because Oregon came in here averaging 37 yards per kick return. So it'll be Stephen Threet who won the quarterback job in the fall over Brock Osweiler. It was experience that went out for him. Started his career actually at Georgia Tech, then to Michigan, and now has found a home.
And he is a leader for this team. Dennis Erickson feels like they can grow under Stephen Threet.
Cameron Marshall will be the running back. 4 wide receivers. And a quick toss is to Marshall, and Marshall's going to have a first down across the 35-yard line. Quick play, quick first down. John Boyette on the stop. Take a look at our starting lineup, brought to you by Phillips Televisions. Knapp was a tight end last year, moved over to the offensive line. A problem last year, not so much this year. A couple of JC transfers doing a great job. Willie, one of them, we'll talk more about him. Now 2 tight ends. 2 wideouts, 2 tight ends on first down. Threet to throw again out of the backfield. Catch made and a huge pop by Kenny Rowe. And Rowe is a guy, without question, that ASU is going to have to take into account.
The personality of this Oregon defense is a violent one. That ball was thrown late by Stephen Threet. Should have been in Cameron Marshall's hands about 3 steps early. And Threet makes his running back pay the price. Nice hit by Rowe.
They will move him around, and they've got to know where he is. Now it's Marshall and Miles in the backfield. Out of the gun, George Bell in for the first time, the wide receiver to the far side. Ducks show blitz. They come with a blitz, and a quick toss once again. And this is going to be well short of the first down. Kenny Rowe again on the stop. Let's take a look at the defense. A flag is down. We'll identify that as well. Presented by Phillips. Turner, Barrett, Clark, and Rowe across the defensive line. As we said, they will move Rowe around. Active linebackers. Matthews and Paysinger, both experienced, could do a great athlete as well. Excellent secondary. Jackson, the senior in the secondary, and the leader of that secondary. And Boyette can put a hit on him. Going to be a face mask, and it's going to go against Oregon, and going to give the Sun Devils a first down. Chip Kelly's second year here, and P, you have referred to him as the most innovative coach in the country.
And that's what he is. Their practice looks like nobody else's in the nation. Nobody practices football like Chip Kelly, almost like a hockey strategy, the way they move players in and out defensively, and the offense, they try to get 100 plays a game. It's unbelievable.
So they come with that 2 running back set. It's not really a fullback situation. Marshall and Miles, they will often move Miles. Put him in motion, bring him in the slot. And here is Miles out of the backfield, forget about it. Big loss on the play. All the way back to the 46-yard line. Eddie Pleasant, Casey Matthews having none of it for the Ducks.
We talked about Vontez Burfict. Casey Matthews, also a great middle linebacker in the Pac-10. And Arizona State really trying to get the perimeter working, but that time Oregon wasn't having it.
A loss of 9. You can see what, it's so easy to forget about Oregon's defense because their offense is so prolific. #1 in the nation on the offense. Guess what? #1 in the nation on the defense. Threet with a blitz, gets it to Miles, and Miles going to be run out of bounds quickly by John Boyette.
And defensively, Oregon very prepared for what Arizona State is doing offensively under new offensive coordinator Noel Mazzoni, because it's basically the same principles. Zone read, you see how fast they play, they spread them out, and they try to get you off guard.
And no huddle for either team. We could see 170, 180 plays in this game. And that is unheard of. Empty backfield, late blitz comes, Threet steps up, throws, underthrew his intended receiver, who was Jamal Miles, down the field, but a flag is down. the Sun Devils.
Well, Dennis Erickson knows that Jamal Miles is his most versatile offensive player. They like to get him one-on-one in space. We've seen it all game, and you see how fast he is. That's Talmadge Jackson III on top of him there. Three kind of going for the back shoulder.
Well, the ball was underthrown, and so many times when you see a ball underthrown, you see interference.
And it's 15 yards from the line of scrimmage for the Sun Devils, and they're looking okay on offense. Their pace is very good.
A couple of big penalties have kept this drive alive. Most importantly, they're keeping the Oregon offense off the field and moving the ball themselves. At the Ducks 36, Miles in motion, and a give straight ahead to Marshall with a gain. Marshall inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Hazinger on the stop. Sun Devils moving the ball well.
Well, what Arizona State is doing is lining up with two backs in the backfield, and they're moving Miles all over the place. They've been working the perimeter with Miles. You're going to see him in motion, then it just comes right up the gut with Marshall. Very nice play calling, nice setup by Noel Mazzoni, the offensive coordinator, really using Miles to the best of his abilities.
On that last play, Dan Knapp, the starting left tackle, went out. He appears to be okay, but he is not in the ballgame right now, replaced by Kyle Johnson. And that is the one area that Dennis Erickson Sun Devils cannot afford to be hurt.
And look how deep these safeties are playing for Oregon.
Give this time is to Miles, and Miles will get about a yard. Closing that down, Terrell Turner getting a start tonight. And now it's going to be third down and a short 3. Empty backfield, 5 wideouts. Street straight back, late blitz comes. Street steps up, throws, got a man. Great defensive play. Pass was intended for Mike Willie, and a great job by John Boyette.
You see John Boyette talking. He's a violent hitter, as you mentioned already. Earned his starting spot in 2009 as a redshirt freshman. He might be from that calm California wine country, but he plays every down like it's a street fight. And that time he's calm, gets up, knocks the ball down away from Mike Willie, set up to make a nice catch.
He had a big impact as a redshirt freshman last year. 47-yard field goal try now for Weber. 80% field goal kicker in his career at ASU. High snap, and it comes down, and it is wide. So Weber came in 5 of 7 this year, misses that one, is now 5 of 8. Missed a 25-yarder last week against Wisconsin, and had that crucial extra point blocked.
That extra point should have been up a little bit higher, and Arizona State goes to overtime with Wisconsin. This is a 2007 Lou Groza Award winner.
So after all of that, they held the ball for just about 4 minutes, a little over 4 minutes. Here's Darren Thomas and the Oregon Ducks. Thomas just a sophomore. And on first down, Thomas keeps, and Thomas will get about 5. There's nothing particularly fancy about what Oregon does. It's more about how well they do it.
And if you thought Arizona State was playing fast, just watch Chip Kelly's Oregon Ducks move on offense. Darren Thomas has a good command of this zone read.
They get right up to the line of scrimmage. Now Thomas might check off. Always hard to tell with Oregon. Thomas give to James, nothing doing. And there is Vontez Burfict, the man you talked about. Offensively, the lineup's presented by Phillips Televisions, and it's an experienced offensive line. Remember, they return almost every starter from a year ago. The receivers, 2 and 8, big target, male, their most effective receiver, catches everything. Thomas will throw for the first time, and it is batted away. A good job downfield by Keelan Johnson to get a hand on the ball.
Keelan Johnson getting the start at free safety for the Sun Devils for Craig Bray's defense. Craig Bray dials up a blitz here. You see everybody fitting in their spots. Good job picking it up by the Ducks. And Keelan Johnson reads the play and gets some depth, jumps up and bats it down. Nice heads-up play by the sophomore out of Mesa, Arizona.
So the punt for the Oregon Ducks, and Jamal Miles, the deep man, you can see, averaging almost 16 yards per return. And this is a wobbly kick. They kick it away from Miles, takes an Oregon bounce and goes out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. 51-yard punt, most importantly, no return. ASU will have it for the second time when we come back to Sun Devil Stadium. Don't go away. Scoreless game, 10:48 remaining here in the first quarter. Sun Devils will have it. Well, crowd came early today, and despite the heat, they were cool. And you know why they were cool? I know you do. They're munching on Hass avocados. Having the guacamole, that'll keep you cool. Whether tailgating at the stadium, watching at home, kick off your day with Hass avocados.
They are tasty.
So now it'll be the Sun Devils, Stephen Threet, and they'll start right at the 19-yard line is where they marked that. Threet, quick pass this time. Threet tall, but coming down with it was Mike Willie, and a pickup of about 5.
Mike Willie's one of those new JC guys that Dennis Erickson brought in this year. He's famous for that. This is a big, tall junior, 6'4", 220 pounds. Defended by Cliff Harris there, who's made some big plays.
Yes, another guy they like to move around. Willie coming over from Cerritos Junior College. 2nd and 5. Give to Marshall, and Marshall will get across the 25. He'll get about 2, and it'll be 3rd and 3. Zach Clark with help from Spencer Paysinger, wrapping him up for the Ducks.
Well, it seems like Oregon is very comfortable with the Sun Devils' pace here. But on the other side of the ball, I think the Arizona State defense shocked Oregon a little bit with their speed. I think they're the best that the Ducks have faced thus far.
Well, they're very good. In fact, we were saying before the season that we thought maybe ASU might have the best defense in the Pac-10 Conference. Blitz comes. Threet steps up, throws, got a man. Catch made this time by Flugar. On the catch, a gain of 17.
I've been impressed with Stephen Threet in this game. Didn't really distinguish himself too much in camp. Kind of just won the job, but he's been laying that ball out perfect. And Flugrad is a very good possession receiver. Nice safe spot for Threet to throw the ball.
And that blitz of Oregon not getting to Threet. Threet back again. And this time, as I say that, it gets to him. Only a 3-man rush, really, but a 4-man rush. And it was Dion Jordan who got to him.
See the pressure here. Threet looking downfield, trusts that offensive line. Just held it a little bit too long.
So now it'll be 2nd down and 17, and they show blitz again off the left side. And now the Ducks back out of it, and the give is to Marshall. Marshall bumps off the first set of tackles and almost broke it across the 45 to the 47. A pickup of 15, and only be about 2 yards short of a first down, but might have been a saving tackle by Cliff Harris.
Great physical run by Cameron Marshall. Basically just a zone play. Threet gives, and that's what he wants to do. He didn't want to run the ball too much in this offense. He's more of a thrower. Marshall just turning those legs, making it happen.
Yeah, now 3rd and a yard, and DeAndre Lewis comes into the backfield.
He's good. He's a young freshman.
This is Lewis, and Lewis, he'll be close. He'll be very close. I'm not sure he got there. This will be a real decision here for Dennis Erickson. We don't want to give Oregon a short field. Casey Matthews came up to stick the play with Michael Clay. And now it's going to be 4th down. Dennis Erickson unhesitatingly says, go ahead. Two tight ends. Threet out of the gun. Again, it's Lewis. Lewis going to have it. And more. Look out, 40 to the 30. One man to beat. Steps over it to the 10. He's in. Touchdown. ASU. 52 yards for the freshman DeAndre Lewis.
freshman running back. You give it to him on 3rd and 1. He misses. You give it to him again on 4th and 1. Breaking tackles all the way down the field. John Boyette, a very sure tackler. He steps right over that. To be a true freshman running down the field like that in a situation where you're in the open field and to have that kind of poise, very impressive.
Exactly the start the Sun Devils would have wanted. They got Oregon very quickly. They got their own offense back on, and they go 52 yards from DeAndre Lewis and lead it 7-0. We welcome you back. So Kenyon Barner, who normally is the return man for the Oregon Ducks, not going to return kicks today because he does have a little bit of a hip problem. We still expect to see him. Take a look at our free credit report, our freecreditscore.com scoreboard. You saw it there for just a moment. And this is going to be Harris out of his own end zone. Harris with a gap, 20, 30, 35, gets the 38-yard line, and unless you think that Oregon drops off when they put Harris back there. Remember, he had 2 touchdowns in Oregon's first game. Now, a Phillips Television game break with Darren Horton. Darren. All right, thanks very much, Darren. It's been quite a day for the Pac-10 Conference in general. Oregon State trying to add to that.
How about UCLA going to Austin, Texas, and dominating that football game?
Huge win. Huge. And as you said, a dominant win. Thomas in trouble, has to unload. And the catch is made by Mela. Thomas showing a strong arm. Take a look at our starting lineups. Once again, the Arizona State defense presented by Phillips Televisions. Jarrett starting tonight for the first time over at the left side. Aaron will get a start today too because they feel he's more consistent player and they have to be. Bolden is their shutdown corner. 2nd down and 5. Pitch this time to Huff, and Huff will have a first down across the 45 at the 43-yard line of ASU.
Josh Huff, really the Ducks' only deep threat right now. Their fastest wide receiver, a true freshman. Option principles right there, executed very well by Darren Thomas.
Sure was Thomas, quick pass this time. And DJ Davis can't get going. Pick up a block 2, and Omar Bolden, we talked about him. He's a shutdown guy.
Look at Arizona State's defense flying around. Look how they run to the ball, and you see how athletic Bolden is. Waiting for his friends to come clean it up. Keelan Johnson with 2 big hits in the last 2 plays.
2nd and long now for Oregon. This is James. James, the 40, 35, 30, goodbye. 10-yard line. Does he get to the edge quick? Touchdown, Oregon. 40 yards, and he did it in about 4 seconds.
And a great block by DJ Davis on the edge, the wide receiver, and that helps LaMichael James make these long runs. But the explosiveness in the legs, just look at the legs when he turns it on. You're right to say goodbye, Barry, because this guy is the most explosive back in the nation. Unbelievable, his speed.
Try for point now. Is up and good. And, you know, just to give you an idea to further what you were just saying, Pete, that was the 9th touchdown of over 40 yards this year for the Oregon Ducks. We're tied at 7. Don't go anywhere. We welcome you back. We are tied at 7, 6:14 remaining. Barry Tompkins, Petros Papadakis, Rebecca Harlow telling you about it. From here in Tempe, Arizona, temperatures over 100 degrees. Woo! Toasty. Beard will kick it off, and he will drive this one toward Middlebrooks in the end zone, and he will not come out. Right now, time for a Phillips Television game break once more. I'll say it's a pretty select company.
And I think that Florida team's going to improve as the season goes on.
I think they really did today. Sun Devils start at their own 20-yard line. Marshall, the tailback. 2 tight ends in this alignment with 2 wideouts. 3, quick toss on the slant. Missed his intended receiver, who was Mike Willie. Oregon got a pretty good push that time. Oregon, incidentally, that last touchdown drive, 1 minute and 4 seconds. And I think this is a really interesting piece. 18 of its 22 touchdown drives this year. That in itself is starting inside 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Most exciting offense right now in the country. Arizona State's touchdown. That's the first time they scored first in a game this year. Amazing.
Second out at the 20-yard line. Here comes a blitz off the edge once again. And I'll tell you what, Cameron Marshall will still feel Kenny Rowe when he goes back to that huddle.
Well, watch these teams run, these young backs. No hesitation going for it on 4th and 1. Confident team and staff. The true freshman, DeAndre Lewis, breaking tackles all the way to the end zone. And here he is. He's on the Oregon track team for a reason. He doesn't put the shot for him. He's a sprinter. Michael James blazing a trail to the end zone. Man, is he excited.
He made it to the finals in the 100-meter dash and the Pac-12 Conference Championship. Blitz comes again. Look out. 3 hit as he throws, and it's intercepted. Boyette has it. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Ducks. And that was all about getting to Threet.
You think the Ducks are a little upset that Arizona snapped a streak of 114 straight points that they scored with that touchdown?
Watch the rush, though.
Playing with a purpose. John Boyette grabbing that lollipop out of the sky, and Kenny Rowe.
He's been a monster.
Big pressure.
Traffic point is up and good, and Oregon leads it 14-7. 5:21 remaining. There's a look at the talented sophomore. Can't really put that one on Threet. He was hit right as he threw. So 2 Oregon touchdowns in 53 seconds.
Well, here comes Kenny Rowe, the rush end. You see the speed goes way too quickly. And Boyette just moves over, reads it perfectly, picks it out of the sky and takes it to the house.
Over to above which Arizona State was offside on the play. On the extra point, that is. Well, Chip Kelly, you know, he's an offensive guy, and needless to say, he's very proud of his offense. But, you know, when we talked to him, he wasn't talking offense. He was talking defense.
We've changed our philosophy defensively in terms of we're going to play a lot of guys, because if we ask our players to play with maximum effort, they can't do that for 60, 70, 80, 90 snaps a game, but they can for 4 or 5 in a row and then have the next guy go in. So we're playing 90 linemen, 6 linebackers, 10 DBs, and I think the more players we're playing, the more people are invested in what's going on, and it's really paid dividends for us.
Got him flying around, there's no question. Kenny Rowe was defending those early perimeter plays, stopped the run, and now his specialty pass rushing, and there's Chip Kelly congratulating Boyette on a big play.
High end over end kick. It's going to be Bolden right at the goal line. Bolden to the 15, trying to get to the outside, will not do it. He'll be stopped short the 15-yard line at about the 14 by Brian Butterfield. So right now the Ducks rolling, and Sun Devil's going to have to do something to stop the bleeding.
Arizona State likes to play fast, but I'm not sure they need that here on this drive. Oregon has snatched the momentum away from the Sun Devils here in Sun Devil Stadium. They're going to have to get a couple first downs, take a deep breath, because the Ducks jumped them pretty bad.
This time 3 receivers to the left side of the field. That's the long side of the field. And 3 on the give to Marshall. Or rather, that's DeAndre Lewis. So Lewis going to get across the 20 to the 21. Was Marshall. Bryson Littlejohn on the stop.
This was a no-name Sun Devil backfield a couple weeks ago, but Cameron Marshall's been great. DeAndre Lewis, the freshman, with the big touchdown. Running very physically right now is Marshall.
6 carries, 46 yards for Marshall. Here he is again. This time he gets in the gap. At the 30, at the 35, a first down and more before he's run down by Spencer Paysinger.
Well, here comes Marshall. Watch him just bend it back when he sees the gap. Over pursuit by Oregon's defense. Marshall knows what to do with the ball. The Sun Devils needed that badly. Little breathing room.
That was very similar to his touchdown run, actually. To the touchdown run, Lewis. Three this time, pump fake, steps up, throws, got a man wide open. It is Pflugrad, and Pflugrad will take it all the way to the 36-yard line of Oregon. A gain of 27.
Aaron Pflugrad, the slot guy. Former Duck. 23 catches in 2007 and 2008. You're going to see the fake smoke route there. And Pflugrad fakes a block on the screen and then just takes it right up the field. Well-designed play.
And a first down at the 36. So the Sun Devils coming right back. Miles comes in motion. Marshall gets the call inside the 35. A gain of about 2. Kalakipi on the stop for the Oregon Ducks. First and 10 line is brought to you by Phillips Televisions. DeAndre Lewis back in the ball game now after that long touchdown run of 52 yards that he had for Arizona State's score. This time Miles comes in motion, straight back. They pick the blitz up over the middle. Catch made by Jarrell Robinson down at the 15-yard line. A gain of 19 and 3. I'll tell you what, he's right on the money.
He has been on this drive. Noel Mazzoni doing a good job mixing up the play calling. They're starting out with 2 backs in the backfield and pulling Jamal Miles out, and it's causing trouble for the Ducks defense. Jarrell Robinson has been hurt. This is his first action. 6'4", 222-pound junior. Had a hamstring all camp.
Big target.
You got a lot of those guys.
Yeah, they do. First down at the 15-yard line of Oregon. In motion goes Miles. Quick pass to Miles. And Miles can't hang on. I'll tell you, that was very, very nearly a pick as Bosio Lacombo was coming. And he was right in the middle of that pass. It was just a little tall for him. He couldn't bring it down.
Well, if Arizona State wants the Ducks to respect Miles in motion on every play when they line up in that formation, they're going to have to throw that every once in a while, and they did there. Miles should have made that catch. Pretty well thrown by Stephen Threed. He throws those perimeter throws very, very accurate.
Yeah, gets him there in a hurry, and there was a lot of green in front of him had Miles made that catch. Lewis back in the ball game now, the freshman, he goes in motion. Threed steps up, throws underneath, catch made at the 11-yard line by George Bell. Gain of 4, and it'll bring about a 3rd and 6.
Talking about these tall receivers, George Bell, another new JC guy, Southwestern JC. He's out of San Diego, California. He's 6'3", about 203 pounds. 3rd and 6 is a big call of the game right now for A-State.
They juggle wide receivers here. Got plenty of time to get the play off. And then Pflugrad in motion. And they throw underneath to Lewis. Lewis to the 5, and he'll be close to a first down, but I think he may be a little short. And now it's decision time for Dennis Erickson. Talmadge Jackson made the tackle. He's going to be about a half-yard short. I suspect that Dennis will go here.
Erickson has left his offense on the field. I like the way the freshman DeAndre Lewis attacked the sticks once he got the ball. No hesitation in the young man out of Norco, California.
They go with 2 tight ends. Marshall, the running back. It's 4th down, about a half a yard for a first down, 5 yards for a touchdown. They give it to Marshall, forget it. They stop the play, and I mean stop it cold, and Oregon will take over. It was Zach Clark and Kenny Rowe, the right side of the defensive line, just stuffed it.
Ducks getting a lot of production out of that front right now. Zach Clark looking good, Kenny Rowe. This was kind of a pistol formation for Arizona State. The left side just collapses. Zach Clark right there, and you're not going to get away from 270-pound senior defensive lineman when he's in the backfield, short yardage.
Oregon has just stepped up on 4th down. Opponents only 2 of 10 this year on 4th down attempts. Give this to James, and James this time was stacked up after a gain of about a yard. And it is starting to appear that Kenyon Barner may not be available to the Ducks tonight. Usually I would think we would have seen him by this time.
Personal foul, face mask, number 7 of the defense. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Well, P, that's what we were talking about. That's Vontaze Burfict, who will make the great play, but every now and then he'll break your heart. Let's go down to the sidelines and Rebecca Harlow.
Well, Michael James back on the field, proving why he's one of the best backs in the country. Well, he tells me that, yes, he does want to be the best in football, but that's not the goal. The goal is to be an academic All-American as well, and to that extent, he is working with local kids in the Oregon community, helping them bring up their grades.
LaMichael James is a solid kid. There was an incident, and it was not everything that was reported was so, and I want to tell you, LaMichael James is a solid citizen. He escapes a tackle here, reverses his field, and now look out. Tries to cut it back across the 35 to the 37. Is he excited?
Well, that's what sets him apart, is the speed and the ability to break tackles. There's a lot of guys that are very fast. Noel Devine comes to mind in West Virginia, but he can't break tackles the same way LaMichael James can.
Chip Kelly's not happy that his team called a timeout. And Burfict comes off limit, and that is bad news indeed.
Well, his backup is Gerald Munns, a senior. He is a versatile linebacker with starting experience who's got pretty good size and intelligence, but Vontaze Burfict is the motor behind this Arizona State defense that is explosive. There's Munns, or as he's called by his defensive coordinator, Craig Bray, Munzie. There you see very nice penetration by Bo Moose, but can't get a hold of LaMichael James, who can get very low, spreads his feet wide, stays up, and then you see the acrobatic nature, tries a spin move on Lawrence Guy. Lawrence Guy gets a good hold of it, but man, what a back. What a joy to watch.
3 carries, 51 yards tonight for LaMichael James. Incidentally, they are reviewing this to see if LaMichael James' knee went down, but his knee was not, as you saw in that replay, his knee was not down. So he will get the first down yardage to the 37-yard line. That was his numbers last year against ASU. Chip Kelly was getting all excited. He didn't want to see play stop. He wants to keep things going, keep things moving.
The more plays, the more times that you have to line up against his offense, the more opportunity the Ducks have to gash you.
Quick pass this time, and the catch is made by Lavoisier Touanet. And that's going to be another first down. Well, it's going to be short of the first down. Where they're marking the ball, it is a first down, so let's see.
Oregon's trying to get another playoff immediately. They don't even want to wait for the markers.
Yeah, they're not worried about the first down.
Darren Thomas, very confident running this offense, just a sophomore.
And it is a first down.
See how Oregon's lined up, and Arizona State still struggling just to get fitted.
This time it's LaMichael James again. This time he is surrounded and down. Colin Parker coming over from the linebacker spot. This was not about to let him get away. Good defensive job. And Burfict is back on the field.
Good time that time by the Sun Devils defense, even though they had a little trouble lining up, all making their fits against the zone read. James had nowhere to go.
And now Kenyon Barner is in the ballgame, so that hip will not keep him out. Thomas straight back, throws to behind his intended receiver, who was Josh Huff. And it'll be third down.
Here comes Huff. Just a post route. Max Tombach there to make the hit. Ball a little out.
So 3rd down and 13 now. Not necessarily a passing down. It's a screen for Barner. And Barner will be well short of the 1st down across midfield at the 49-yard line. Montez Burfict in the middle of that screen, making sure it didn't go any further. And so far, Jim Kelly has kept his offense on the field. It's a 4th down and about 7. They made us let the clock run out here in the 1st quarter. 8 seconds remaining, and that's exactly what they will do. But you got to give it up for Arizona State. They are hanging in this ball game. As we reach the end of the 1st quarter, and a look at the scoreboard shows the Oregon Ducks 14, an interception return for a touchdown, and a good drive, a run of 40 yards. Arizona State a run of 52 by the freshman Lewis for the touchdown. It's 14-7. 2nd quarter action coming up. 14-7 ball games. We prepare to start the 2nd quarter. A lot of passion in this building, in this crowd of 60,000. Didn't just start with the kickoff, it started before the game. The Bank of the West, passionate moment. This is the Stampede with Sparky. Tailgates going on everywhere. Got to have the face painted, that's obligatory. And then the Devil Walk, that's Omar Bolden with the message of the day. That is focus. And that's exactly what ASU has done. Pac-10 Passionate Moment presented by Bank of the West. So Jackson Rice on the punt for only the 9th time this year. 6 of those 9 have landed inside the 20-yard line. This one will be down at the 5-yard line. That's what you're supposed to do.
That was Jeff Mayle that downed it. Barner's the other gunner. They use a lot of their great players in special teams.
So great job by Jackson Rice. Let's take a look at some of the numbers brought to you by eHarmony. After the 1st quarter, Arizona State really out-offensing. Is that a word? Offensing. Oregon, 179 total yards to 92 for the Oregon Ducks. Each team has had a big play. Oregon had the big defensive play, and that's the difference in the ball game. So the Sun Devils start at the 5-yard line. Cameron Marshall is the tailback with 3. Creek trying a hard count there. 2 tight ends. Going to give the Marshall straight ahead across the 5. Got about a yard.
Well, we're just starting out the 2nd quarter, and this 101-degree heat not affecting the pace of the game thus far.
Doesn't get to be 101 very often up in Eugene, I'll tell you that.
You know, it was 96 up there when I went to camp to watch practice. Pretty hot day, but nothing like this.
Threatened to throw out of his own end zone, of course, too hard. Intended for TJ Simpson. Had to come off his original receiver and unload the ball, and he unloaded it hard to Simpson, uncatchable.
The Sun Devils just forced a punt. Looking a little more lethargic right now offensively. They can't afford to give the ball back to the Ducks without a 1st down or 2 in this position.
3rd down and 8, and they are only 1 of 5 so far in 3rd down conversions. Miles will be the running back. They've been Pflugrad in motion. Threet from his own end zone has to step up, and he is cracked at the 3-yard line. Tell you what, the D-line of Oregon is really doing a job so far in this game. That time it was Kadu coming off the edge, who was the first man to get to 3.
Well, it's just going to collapse on Stephen Threet. Brandon Baer came through and caused the original movement in the pocket. Threet had to push up. Great job by Oregon's defense putting pressure on Threet.
And now Kenyon Barner will be back to receive this punt. He stands at the 48-yard line.
Very dangerous moment right now for the Sun Devils.
Threet, a line drive kick. Barner gets it on the big hop. He's got room. He's the 40-yard line. Bounces off a man at the 35. Short punt, good return. Pflugrad makes the stop. a punt of 46 yards, but a 14-yard return by one of the best in the business. When we come back, the Ducks will have it at the 34-yard line of Arizona State. Oregon Ducks lead it 14-7, just underway here in the second quarter. Well, the old Pac-10 is going to give way to the new Pac-12 next year.
Now the winds of change are blowing. Colorado and Utah will officially make it the Pac-12 in 2011. Still have to figure out how the conference will be split up and where a conference title game will be staged, but these are exciting times.
Yeah, that's all going to be decided next month. A little movement that time. No flag, though, and no place to go for Michael James. He is horse-collared and thrown back by Junior Onyili. Loss of 6.
Arizona State, really athletic, very physically talented defense. They practice against a no-huddle. They seem relatively comfortable.
Oregon going really with the hurry up here. Thomas steps up, throws downfield, and in and out of the hands of Mail, and I think maybe Bolden might have got a hand on that.
Bolden has been all over Jeff Mail so far in this game. Look at the battle between these two great Pac-10 performers. A little bit of contact there, and that was a drop. That never happens to Jeff Mail, but it happened just then.
Third down, a whole bunch here. And a big play. Thomas straight back. Throws incomplete, too tall. Intended for Mail, and the Ducks are going to have to give it up.
Another big victory for the Arizona State defense. 2 punts in a row that they forced Oregon into. Oregon has outscored their opponents 72-0 in the second quarter, so they're not used to not performing like this in the second quarter.
No, as a matter of fact, Chip Kelly has never lost a game in which he's led in the second quarter. Wow. 9-0. He's got the lead after 2 quarters. So headed for the sideline, and will go out of bounds. And that's going to be another one inside the 20-yard line. And we'll mark this one somewhere around the 15, right at the 15-yard line. As he takes over when we come back. Welcome back, a 14-7 ball game, 12:36 remaining, and right now defense is taking over. Here's again to Lewis, the freshman. He pushes the pile about the 20-yard line. He'll get 5.
Defensively, Oregon's had a pretty good start in the game. Arizona State's done a good job mixing up the play calling, but the front for the Ducks, got good pressure on Stephen Threet, forcing that interception and touchdown by John Boyette.
ASU so far, 182 yards of offense. Here's a swing out of the backfield this time. And it is Lewis to the 25. That'll be close to a first down. Casey Matthews makes the stop, and I believe he did get enough for the first down.
I like this freshman back. He's not afraid.
I'll tell you what, so far, Sun Devils playing right with the Oregon Ducks.
Well, it helps that they run a similar offense, so their defense understands the pace that Oregon's going to run at them with, even though it's hard to simulate what Oregon actually does in a game.
Miles comes in motion, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Bell, and boy, would Threet like to have that back.
Sun Devils doing a pretty good job of moving people around pre-snap and finding spots. Catch an Oregon defender out of position, and Stephen Threet just missed him. That was there.
I'll say it was. Second down and 10. Oregon shows blitz. Now Threet steps up, throws, and this time he's right on the money to Jarrell Robinson, and a big first down at the 44-yard line, a pickup of 19.
This is a much better Arizona State football team that we saw last week play very well against Wisconsin. Jarrell Robinson is 6'4", Mike Willie is 6'4", George Bell 6'3", Flugrad's a slot guy, he's 5'10". Those are all nice receivers.
Again, Miles in motion. Over the middle, catch made by Robinson. First down inside the 40. Ball comes loose, but the ground caused it. No fumble. And another big first down for the Sun Devils. A pickup of 18. 37 yards on the same play, back to back.
Well, Threed's making up for that missed play 2 plays ago, and they're playing fast that time. Just hits Robinson right off the snap, right on the run.
So a first down at the 38-yard line of the Ducks. Miles in motion again. Give it to Lewis. Lewis gets close to the 35. He'll get about 3. Kenny Rowe with a shoestring tackle. And the Sun Devils just taking a page right out of Oregon's book here. They're just right there at the line of scrimmage, ready to go again. And, you know, you really have the feeling, Pete, that this is going to be a game of attrition.
Both squads really like to get up to the line of scrimmage and go.
3 under pressure, steps up, flags down. 3 gets out of there. Now he goes all the way to the end zone, and it is almost intercepted. And then after that, almost caught by T.J. Simpson. What do we see about the flag? I'll tell you what, though, just in terms of offense, I mean, the number's not what you would expect.
There are fouls on both teams. Hands to the face. Offense. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Penalties offset. Replay. Second down.
They'll get another shot at it. And like you said, Barry, Oregon's only got 86 yards of offense. Arizona State 227 thus far.
So it'll be second down and 7. Six defensive backs in the game now, and that's usually a blitzing formation for the Oregon Ducks. They show blitz, and the handoff is to Miles, and Miles is going to be dropped for a loss of about 2, and we're going to go to the sideline once more, and Rebecca Harlow. Rebecca.
Stephen Threed getting some very helpful help from his offense. They're being very physical tonight. Well, he's also getting some help from his family. Last year when he was deciding where he was going to transfer, his older brother Jay said, hey, I will follow you anywhere in the country. Jay is now a practicing lawyer in the Phoenix area. Stephen says it's so helpful to have him living right alongside me.
I think he might be giving it second thoughts with 101 degrees at kickoff here tonight. Threed throws wide open Robinson, and Robinson a first down to the 21-yard line. That ball was on the money again. Gain of 16.
Threed's had a long route. Georgia Tech, then Michigan. 8 starts at Michigan, now at Arizona State. Had a battle to be the quarterback and knocks Jarrell Robinson over with the ball.
Gives straight ahead and picking up about 5 more that time was Lewis.
This is the drive that the Sun Devils needed. This is the drive that the Sun Devils defense needed. So far, they're doing a great job keeping Oregon's offense off the football field.
They spread it out again, 2 wideouts to the left side, Bell to the near side, and the give is to Lewis again. And this time Lewis, or Miles rather, and Miles just stood straight up and dropped right at the line of scrimmage.
Turner lost his helmet. Spencer Pasinger, the Will Backer on the run through, gets a hold of Jamal Miles and just muscles him down. He is a good player. Pasinger and Casey Matthews together make up 2 very good linebackers at Oregon.
So it'll be third down and about 5. Blitz comes once again. 3 unloads. Got a man catch made by Kerry Taylor. And another first down for the Sun Devils at the 10-yard line. That was a great delivery by Threed. He had to unload the ball. Blitz was coming off the edge. Great job by the quarterback.
Nice job. There's Kerry Taylor, the senior, on the slant. Threed knew. And Cliff Harris had an inside position, threw it to the outside shoulder. Nice communication between Threed and his senior receiver, Kerry Taylor, a Dirk Cutter recruit.
Threed 12 of 19, 139 yards. We still got a long way to go in the first half. Here's a bootleg to the right side. Threed looking to the end zone, throws, got a man, touchdown! Mike Willie got the feet down, I believe, and it is an Arizona State touchdown, and that drive, directed by Stephen Threed, was a thing of beauty.
Dennis Erickson was talking about the leadership of Stephen Threed. You saw it right there. On that drive that was out of a pistol formation, Threed very patient, puts enough under the ball, right over the top to his very tall receiver, Mike Willie.
And a try for point to tie this game. Wasn't so easy last week, but this time Weber is perfect. And with 7:23 remaining in the first half, we are tied at 14 when we return. We'll take you to our College Football Saturday studio for a preview of our Geico halftime show. Darren Horton will be on hand for that one. Meantime, we are tied at 14. All right, thanks very much, Darren. So the Sun Devils, with a great drive, will kick it away. It's going to be Harris about 7 yards deep, and he's not going to bring it out. Take a look at the last touchdown by that man right there. 6 of 7, 68 yards on that drive.
Look at him pump fake on Casey Matthews. It's so important to have an experienced quarterback. Here you have one of the best linebackers in the Pac-10 bearing down on you. The patience and poise of Stephen Threed to pump fake, freeze Casey Matthews, and then deliver that ball beautifully with air under it. Just a great play. Looks like Dennis Erickson has found his quarterback. He made Casey Matthews slow up.
Yeah, he did. Matthews actually looked back for the ball. The ball was still in Threed's hands. So now it's up to Darren Thomas. Thomas going to throw on first down. Steps up, throws, and misses his intended receiver, Mayo, who was open.
That was behind Jeff Mayo, but that's normally a catch he makes, even though it was a difficult ball.
So Thomas just 4 of 9 for 29 yards. Gibbs straight ahead this time, and nothing doing. James going to be stopped by Saya Falahoa and driven backward.
They're pumped up at Sun Devil Stadium.
Why not? They're playing great. Third and long. Screen pass this time to the tight end. And short of the first down. It was Lavoisier Tourné, not the tight end, on the receiving end of that, but the second straight 3 and out now for the ASU defense.
And they're swarming. Nicely delivered ball by Thomas. Tourné just can't get to the edge. Oregon's averaging 418 more yards than their opponents per game. That's the largest differential in college football. Tonight, minus 176.
Rice kicks this short, lands at about the 45, and takes an Oregon bounce, and will wind up right around the 30-yard line. 44-yard punt with the roll, so effective even though it might not have been pretty. So ASU will have the football again. They're tied at 14.
And they're dominating this game. Think about the Sun Devils' empty trip down to Oregon's 5-yard line when they missed on a 4th and 1. They forced a third straight punt from the Ducks. They're in control of this football game against one of the best teams in the country. That Wisconsin performance wasn't a fluke.
No, a game, of course, that they all feel they should have won. Stephen Threet has looked amongst the Pac-10 Conference's elite quarterbacks so far tonight. Late blitz comes, and here's the screen. Perfect play. And Lewis is on his way to the 35 to 30 out of bounds at the 26. Talk about the right call at the right time. 41 yards.
Again, the poise of Stephen Threet taking a huge hit. Dropping it in. And how about the freshman, DeAndre Lewis? Man, is he exciting. He runs up the field with purpose.
He does. 2 big plays for the freshman. Here's Miles. And Miles gets about a yard to the 25-yard line. Well, Threet not only hung in there, he just got the ball over the outstretched hands of a couple of Duck defenders. Once Lewis got it, it was over. This time, Sun Devils come with 2 tight ends. Miles is the lone setback. It's kind of a power formation. You don't see them run this very often. Look out. Out of the backfield, Miles. Threet held the ball just long enough again. As the Ducks came with a blitz off the left side that time. Hannah was coming.
Right now, a team that's used to putting people on their heels, Oregon, is on their heels.
You see those numbers startling. Marshall back in the ball game now with a 3rd down and 7. The big play right here for Stephen Threet. Threet straight back, steps up, throws, caught by Robinson. Going to be short of the 1st down by a little less than a yard, I believe. Now, they went for this once before and did not make it, but you have an idea they may go again.
Well, especially with Thomas Weber, the senior kicker, struggling. Casey Matthews coming out of the game.
Threet having a heated conversation with the referee. Now the referee will call his timeout. It's the referee's timeout. And I think they may be questioning the spot here. So they'll bring the chains out to see exactly how much is needed. Just about that much. Actually gives Dennis Erickson a chance to talk to his team. Well, the Impact Player of the Week is awarded to a defensive player that best exemplifies integrity, maturity, performance, academics, community, and tenacity. And this week's winner is Ross Holman of Ohio State. Ohio State will receive $1,000 for its General Scholarship Fund in recognition of Holman's achievement. And so Dennis Erickson has decided that he will kick this 34-yard effort. Weber has missed from 47. And this one is good. He's not going to miss this one. Got it by plenty. And the Sun Devils have gone in front. Once again, they lead it 17-14. Significantly, they have been able to move the football.
Dennis Erickson reacting to the kick. He's still got the passion.
Yeah, he does.
He likes this team. He feels like they can improve as the year goes on. Certainly, they look to be improving. When asked at Media Day what he thought of Arizona State being picked 9th in the preseason poll in the Pac-10, Erickson's quote was, "We better not be 9th."
Yeah, that's right.
And I think he knew a little something about his team that the media didn't know.
I think he did too, and certainly he was right. I think another thing that he told us yesterday when we talked to him was, he said there were a lot of tears in the locker room back in Madison, Wisconsin last week when they had that extra point blocked, a game they could have tied and taken to overtime. He said he likes to see that, and he hasn't seen that on his teams in a long time.
Well, they're playing with passion right now, and they're roasting that Oregon defense. Oregon's had 19 plays to Arizona State's 46 in this first half. 314 yards to 91. I know Oregon likes to play fast, but they might want to hold on to the ball here and get that defense in the locker room.
Still got 4 minutes and 10 seconds. And in this game with these two teams, that's a world of time. It's going to be Grady on the return. And Grady will get it across the 25 to about the 26. Scott Grady, the sophomore. Next week, plenty more college football. It's college football Saturday doubleheader. Get underway in the Big 12. It'll be Kansas getting it on with Baylor, and then it'll be Aaron Murray as he leads Georgia into Colorado for an SEC Big 12 game. The action kicking off at 12 Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific. Ducks will start at the 26. 4 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in the half. Sun Devils lead it by 3. Flag down. Swing out of the backfield for James. James only going to get about 2. Both these defenses just flying to the ball. We'll see what the flag is.
Defense, number 97. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Junior Oniali, who has not had a lot of minutes so far this year. Freshman, true freshman out of Denver. The guilty party that time.
Sun Devils playing a lot of guys right now, and they are the fresher team.
Well, Arizona State has just put the brakes on the Oregon offense in this quarter.
Negative 1 yards this quarter.
Thomas straight back to throw. He's got time, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bolden. And Bolden still on his feet inside the 30-yard line, and the Sun Devils right back in business. That was just a bad throw. I don't know how you could put ice cream on that one. That was underthrown. He had a lot of time to throw it.
Bolden came right underneath Tuanay. That's exactly what Thomas was looking at. You saw that passionate moment. Bolden walking out of the bus, holding the sign that said focus. In the pregame, he had the sign strapped to his bare chest while he was working out, and he is focused.
Yes, he is.
Great play by the great corner.
The whole Arizona State defense is focused. Street throwing, looking for it all. Touchdown! Catch made by Kerry Taylor. What a grab, and what a throw by Threet between 2 defenders.
Receivers has Threet involved in this game. We talked about the communication between him and the senior Kerry Taylor on a slant earlier in the quarter. Drops it in perfectly. 8 different receivers.
Try for point is up and good. And the Sun Devils putting a hurt right now on the Oregon Ducks. They lead it by 10.
Here it is again. Taylor getting that separation. Can't place the ball better than that. That's a touchdown in any league.
Might have gotten a little separation with a push.
Well,
part of the game, huh?
Got to play the game. Got to play it. It's a physical game, and Taylor did what he had to do to get that ball on the outside. Look at Taylor right off the line. Against Talmadge Jackson, the third. Didn't look back. So that ball was right there. It was set up by the pick from Omar Bolden, the junior. Loves his Twitter page.
Yeah,
he really does, yeah. Loves to talk, loves to Twitter, loves to play ball.
Football.
Yeah. Out last year with an injury and really hurt the team not having him. He's a lockdown player.
Yeah, their best cornerback, according to Dem Saracen, and I don't have to worry about his side of the field. This kick is driven. There'll be no return. Right now to the sideline, Rebecca Harlow amongst the maddening crowd.
Well, guys, a lot of excitement down here on the ASU sideline, and the guy that is leading the attack is Garth happening right now. He's the guy who's fist pumping, giving high fives to everyone, keeping them very focused on this ball game. He's also the guy who's bringing guys in for 6 a.m. lifting practices, and it's certainly paying off.
Kind of runs in the family, doesn't it? That Gerhardt family.
That's Toby's brother. He's bigger.
Triplet sisters who are all great athletes. And talked to the two of them, and they said the youngest brother's the best of all of them. Thomas throws on the run and throws it away around the 45-yard line.
Darren Thomas, strength not with the deeper passes, at least not in this game. He's been off target.
Right now, time for a game summary brought to you by DirecTV, and those numbers tell you everything you need to know. 342 yards of offense put up by Stephen Threet and the Arizona State Sundogs. And here is James. James cuts the outside and falls down as he gets to the 35-yard line. That could have been a lot bigger, a gain of 15. And James comes off holding his hand or shoulder. That's something the Ducks absolutely do not need. Quick toss this time, and the catch made by Davis. Falahola is down on the field. Does manage to get up. Now we'll tell you the 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Phillips Televisions. First down for the Oregon Ducks at the 47-yard line. As lopsided as those numbers are, remember, this is still only a 10-point game.
And Oregon trailed by 10 to Tennessee in the first half of that game in Rocky Top. Before Oregon won 48-13. So they've been behind, and they've been in tough atmospheres, and they've been in the heat.
Falahola will come out of the ball game. Bo Moose will replace him. Quick toss this time to Davis, and Davis will get a first down at about the 41-yard line.
Chip Kelly's offense is fun to watch. That was a zone read option, and then a throw to the perimeter. They want to go fast.
Play fake. Thomas will throw. Hit as he throws. Davis wide open. Was his foot inside? Yes. And that would have been a touchdown had Thomas not been hit so hard. It was Parker, I believe, coming on the hit. It was.
Parker right in the sternum of Thomas. He got decked. There you see DJ Davis getting all the way down. That's a stretch.
Another Arizona State Sundowner was down. Looks like it may be Vontez Burfict. He went off limping earlier, but came back.
Well, these guys are out there playing hard, and this is a very physical football game. Everybody's going 100 miles an hour, both teams, and it's still 100 degrees deep into the night here.
Yeah. A very up-tempo game. Both these teams want to play that way. Well, Michael James has not come back into the ball game. Marner has been on the field the last couple of snaps, and this looks like the same leg that bothered him before. And he will come off again in very similar fashion.
He was back after a couple plays last time he came off the field. Only missed 2 snaps, made a play.
So first down for the Ducks just inside the 30-yard line of Arizona State. Barner is the tailback. Thomas, who got a little shook up on that last hit, the quarterback. Thomas will throw, steps up and throws it away. Way over the head of his intended receiver, Jeff Mail.
And if that's one thing that's been missing from this Duck offense, it's the vertical ball. It's the deep ball. Deep outs, wheel routes, go routes. Thomas might not have them.
8 of 16, 65 yards. Here's a quick toss to Davis. Davis breaks a tackle, gets it down inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line, and another Oregon first down. Gerald Munns makes the stop, but the Ducks with the first down. The clock is still not a factor. 2:40 remaining here in the first half.
There's Gerald Munns in for Vontez Burfict.
to his left, looks to the end zone. Touchdown, Jeff Mayo. Had to wait to see if he didn't trap it. He did not. And the Ducks march right down the field. And it's now 24-20 pending the extra point.
Great throw by Darren Thomas. Really firing it in there to Jeff Mail, who gets down and makes the catch. Thomas and his star receiver not quite on the same page throughout the game, and I think Mail fell on the football there trying to catch his breath. He got low.
That drive took all of 1 minute and 15 seconds. We talked earlier about how Oregon's drives were all 1 minute 50 or less. That was 1 minute 15.
And their defense needed every second of that minute 15. Darren Thomas rolling out, just a half roll, stops, turns his body, fires it into Jeff Mail, who's known for his hops, but got very low on that one. I saw Jeff Mail put on a real show up in Eugene Fall Camp on the ball machine. He stood less than 5 feet away from that thing and snatched a rip of 10 balls cleanly. He's a special player. Started out as a safety and a nickelback, and in 2007 was moved to receiver because of injury, and he has flourished there.
Great hands, no question. Tomorrow on Fox NFL Sunday, the Cowboys will be desperate for a win as they head to Houston. It won't be easy. They'll take on the undefeated Texans, or the Lions and the Vikings, the Falcons and the Saints, and the 49ers and the Chiefs. Or the Redskins look to bounce back from a tough loss as they take on the Rams. Or it'll be the Eagles and the Jaguars. Coverage beginning tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, with the Ford Fox NFL pregame show brought to you by the all-new Ford Edge. Drive one. Check your local listings. The games in your area. A lot of oars in there, aren't there?
A lot of games.
Yes. Here to kick it away, and a high end over at Kick Taylor. Laquan Lewis on every part. Gets back to 30, 35, still on his feet, trying to cut it in, and is caught from behind at the 40-yard line. But again, great field position. A return of 32 yards by Lewis. Bryson Littlejohn makes the tackle on special teams for the Ducks.
Barry, field position so important in this game with these high-powered offenses, and Noel Mazzoni's offense is really in tune with Stephen Threet. That's great position to start this drive out in 2 minutes, 13 seconds. Plenty of time for the Sun Devils. Maybe plenty of time for the Sun Devils and the Ducks before the end of that.
How's your math? 513 yards of offense here in the first half.
And the defense hasn't been bad.
No, you're right. You're right. A couple of yards that time for Cameron Marshall.
There's Mazzoni.
First year.
Yeah, and he's the guy that helped out Tim Tebow, his draft makeover this winter, teaching him to take snaps from under center. He developed Phillip Rivers at NC State, offensive coordinator with Tommy Tuberville at Ole Miss and at Auburn. He's a great addition to Dennis Erickson's staff, and this new offense looks great.
Well, it's really clicking tonight. And the guy that's running it is doing a heck of a job. Flags falling everywhere here.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 8, 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Terrell Robinson, but that's the first mistake that he's made. 101 degrees here at Sun Devil Stadium. We're on the campus of Arizona State University. Barry Tompkins, Petros Papadakis, Rebecca Harlow telling you all about it in the heat. And the football game has been as hot as the weather. Terrific game so far, with 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half. Sun Devils leading the number 6 Oregon Ducks 24-21. The Devils looking right now at a second down and 14 at the 36-yard line. They give straight ahead, and not much going on there for DeAndre Lewis. Now the Ducks will call a timeout with 1:27 left and a 3rd and long. So obviously Oregon is thinking, we get it back, we could score.
They want the lead.
So both teams gathering with their respective coaching staffs. Well, I remember this game. I remember it because I did it. Bruce Snyder was the head coach of the number 17 Arizona State Sun Devils when they played top-ranked Nebraska. and it was Plummer to Poole for the touchdown there, and then a safety in the end zone, and there was joy. I want to tell you how much joy there was. I remember leaving the stadium that night, and the goalposts were down on Mill Avenue. And there's Scott Frost, the guy who was on the Nebraska football team that day.
A great quarterback in Nebraska's history. One of my favorites they ever had. So willful, so strong, running the option. And he still looks strong, coaching the wide receivers for the Oregon Ducks, and he really coaches them up. One of the points of emphasis, and we've seen it in this game, on LaMichael James's touchdown run to start out the scoring for Oregon, DJ Davis blocking downfield made that run possible. He really, really helps those guys block and be physical.
Well, all week here in Tempe and all over the city of Phoenix, people were reminding everyone about that game against Nebraska. 3 is hit, steps away, steps up and throws, got a man out there, and he overthrows his intended receiver, Jamal Miles. That would have been huge. Kenny Rowe almost had it. He slipped away and then missed Miles.
Stephen 3, 6'5", 240. That's a hard guy to get down. Kenny Rowe gave it a try, but man, did he stand strong in there. Jamal Miles didn't really know what to do. The sophomore in that situation was kind of in no man's land, and 3 put it out there for him. Miles needed to keep running.
So now Kenyon Barner's going to be the deep man, and I'm sure Oregon's thinking we could score here.
We got a minute left.
Plenty of time. High spiraling kick, a huge kick, hits at the 2-yard line, skips into the end zone. So Oregon will have 80 yards to go. It was a 63-yard punt by one of the leading punters in the Pac-10, Haskins.
Sorts on Marisic playing both ways.
That one did surprise me. Marisic had a touch over to get flags all over the place. That's going to be a penalty on Perfect. You'll be seeing highlights of all those games, of course, Darren Horton and the Geico halftime report. That's coming up. 1 minute and 8 seconds of playing time from now. Lots of highlights. I'm not at all surprised that Stanford went into Notre Dame and beat up on the Irish.
No, I thought in that game, if Notre Dame punted 3 times, Stanford would win by 21 points. Their offense is that good. We talked about the violence of Vontaze Burfict. What do you see what he did?
Personal foul. Defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
Well, it's exactly what we talked about in the open. Look at this, Pete.
Vontaze Burfict, just so physical, so violent out there. There he is in space. And the head under the chin of Tuane. And he's saying that his head was kind of grabbed. They call that targeting.
That's right, and that is what it was. Thomas just unloads. Nobody there in the middle of the field. And Thomas himself got unloaded upon by James Brooks.
Now, he's got to be careful right now. Darren Thomas has not thrown deep balls with a lot of accuracy in this game. Guys like Omar Bolden hanging around back there could bait this young quarterback. Thomas is getting hit.
2nd and 10, minute 3 seconds left in the half. Thomas this time under pressure again, throws off his heels, got a man out there. Catch is made by Paulson, and Paulson will take it all the way down to the 4-yard line. First time they've thrown to the tight end, but he's been throwing it down the field all day. Only this one was caught.
David Paulson has emerged as a tight end. Lost his shoe. Oh, Moose with big pressure on Darren Thomas. He stands in there and takes it. Keelan Johnson having a hard time tackling a big tight end, the junior.
61 yards on the play and a first down at the 4-yard line. And incidentally, LaMichael James back in the ballgame now, so that hand injury not apparently serious, and now we're going to get a timeout. And it's going to be called by ASU. 53 seconds left. Well, we kind of speculated that ASU best do something with the football, and sure enough they didn't. They had to give it back to Oregon, and one play they go 61 yards.
They needed a first down. Darren Thomas getting the deep ball that Oregon's been missing. David Paulson running free right through that Arizona State zone. Kicks his own shoe. Still running down the field. You just got to keep going. Now, don't trip over your own shoe. That would be a problem. But almost loses the football. Good job by Keelan Johnson trying to get it out, and a great job by Paulson securing it. I tell you, there's nothing more chaotic than running down the open field in a Pac-10 football game. Everything's happening. Your helmet's bobbling around on your head. You're thinking about ball security, but you're also thinking about scoring, and it's deafening. Very exciting times that are hard to process when you're a young guy. David Paulson, a former quarterback out of Auburn, Washington.
Quieted the crowd down. Remember Chip Kelly telling us about Paulson and what a great job he's doing so far. First time he's appeared, but he came up big. First down at the 4-yard line. Clock not a factor. Here's a blitz. Thomas going to keep it, and he is going to walk into the end zone for an Oregon touchdown. And just like that 10-point lead of the Sun Devils, gone.
They can do it pretty fast, can't they?
I'll say. That drive was 27 seconds. It goes with a minute 2-yard drive, a minute 2-second drive, and a minute 5-second drive, if I recall. Drive for point, driven through, and it's a 28-24 Oregon lead, and there's still plenty of time, 48 seconds left.
Well, look at it. This is why it was so easy. Oliver Aaron is going to crash. Defensive end is going to crash, and that just leaves it wide open for Darren Thomas to walk in. Everybody expecting the zone read. And a great call by Chip Kelly. There's Jamar Jarrett, also misplayed Darren Thomas.
Well, they can strike quickly.
Both teams can.
Yeah, no, it's true. 217 points in 209 minutes. That's pretty good, huh?
And the most important part for Oregon going into the half is obviously they needed confidence. Their offense has gotten going, and they have a defensive touchdown this half. But almost more important than that is they got this rabid Arizona State crowd out of the game. I haven't seen it this exciting in Sun Devil Stadium in quite some time.
Well, it really says something about this Oregon Ducks team. I mean, they have been, we're going to see the numbers at halftime, and they're going to be very much in Arizona State's favor, and yet Sun Devils trail by 4. Still time to do some business, though. This is going to be Middlebrooks. To the 20, to the 25, steps outside, hurdles in the end, gets to the 34-yard line. And again, Brian Butterfield makes the tackle on special teams for the Ducks. 42 ticks left. Here are the Oregon drive. Minute 4, minute 15, and 24 seconds.
That's why that you see the shuttling of people in and out of the game on both defenses. Because it's over 100 degrees, and it could be 50 degrees, and guys would be sucking wind.
Here's a quick screen this time to Flugran. And Flugran going to be stopped at about the 37-yard line. John Boyette having none of that. Gain of about 7. And the Sun Devils will call a timeout.
Arizona State, their second timeout of the half.
So they will have 1 timeout remaining. And there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, they're thinking at the very least, let's get 3 here.
Well, they need it for their confidence. They played so well this half. But Oregon is such a jackhammer on offense, and they can strike so quickly. And just when they look like they're not comfortable and they're not going to be able to do anything, and Arizona State's got them rattled, Oregon just blazes a trail down the field. We're closing in on 600 yards in this half combined. That's amazing. And the defenses have not played badly.
No, that's the thing. I mean, there have been so many big plays, but no, I completely agree with you, P. I mean, I think both defenses have played very well.
They've been physical, and there's just been great athleticism in this game on both sides of the ball.
So the ball will be marked at the 36-yard line. It's a 2nd down and 7. And this time, Sun Devils will spread the field from outside the numbers to outside the numbers, and they'll go empty. Little stunt up front. And now Threet's flushed. Now he steps up, throws over the middle, intercepted. Picked off once again by John Boyette. Unless they're going to say, no, it hit the ground first. No interception. Looked like Boyette had a clean pick.
Here's Boyette stepping up. Nice job of escaping by Stephen Threet. Love the way he steps up in the pocket, but ill-advised throw. Late over the middle. Everybody knows that's not the way you got to throw it. Late over the middle, asking for it.
Now they got to think first down. Threet is dragged down back to the 26-yard line. Third sack of the ball game for the Ducks. Terrell Turner makes the stop, and now let's see if the Ducks stop the clock. So Oregon has called for a timeout. Remember last week, this Arizona State team went back to Madison, played a ranked Wisconsin team, had every opportunity to win. Just couldn't quite do it. Dropped touchdown pass right there in the end zone. And then the last play of the first half, 95-yard kick return. Normally you say, well, that's great, but in this case?
Well, the clock ran out, and Middlebrooks needed to dive right about there. And then a blocked extra point that would have tied the game. Thomas Weber needed to put a little air under that ball, and Arizona State loses by 1 point in a game that they most definitely should have won in Camp Randall Stadium against a very good Wisconsin team. But I think a learning experience for a growing Sun Devil squad.
I think you're right. Haskins going to punt it. Will he kick it to Barner? They try to kick it away from him, and they do kick it away from him. Barner thought about it for a minute and then lets it go out of bounds. Good punt by Haskins, 57 yards. So they have 11 seconds. I guess for them that's a world of time, right?
Stranger things have happened. I don't think they're going to score in 11 seconds, but you got to say there's been so many momentum shifts in this game. ASU had all of it, all the momentum. Oregon had 3 straight punts, and they trailed by 10, and then Oregon, not to be denied, rattled off 2 straight touchdowns behind their quarterback, Darren Thomas.
And quickly.
It's the operative word in this game.
Yeah, well, it is. That's right.
Everybody's going to need an ice bath at halftime.
52 points, 600 yards of offense. They give it this time to Michael James, and he's going to be stopped. McGee makes the tackle, and that's going to be the last play of the first half. And what a half of football it was. The Oregon Ducks ahead of the Arizona State Sun Devils, but the Sun Devils hanging right in there. And again, you really do have the feeling that who's ever got the most left at the end is going to win this football game. 28-24 at the half, and we'll go right now down to the field. Rebecca Harlow is with Chip Kelly. Rebecca.
Coach, you erased a 10-point deficit in less than 3 minutes. How do you continue to build upon that? How'd you get that done?
No, it's a great atmosphere to play in. It's kind of like a World Cup game here with this crowd and the injuries. So we'll just go back in. We got a 4-point lead. We're playing against a really good football team. We need to settle down. We did some uncharacteristic things, didn't tackle like we should tackle. And we got to move the ball a little bit better offensively, but I think we'll be okay.
Stephen Threet has been able to expose your secondary. How do you limit his looks in the second half?
He's a really good player, very impressive. First time seeing him, throws a really, really nice ball. We need to continue to get some pressure on him and keep mixing it up.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, that's Chip Kelly, and his team leads it by 4. Interestingly, they have the lead despite the fact they did not pick up a third down in the half. Let's go right now to our Los Angeles studio. It is time for the Geico halftime show, and the host of that show, Darren Horton. Darren, you got it. Welcome back to a steamy night here in Tempe, Arizona. 28-24, Oregon over Arizona State. It was a great first half. We expect nothing less in the second half. Right now, before we get to the second half, let's go down to the sidelines. Rebecca Harlow is with a coach, albeit not a football coach. Rebecca.
Yes, that's right, basketball coach and Pac-10 Coach of the Year. Last year, your team was supposed to come in 9th. Then you come in 2nd. You get Coach of the Year honors. What was that experience, everything that you went through last season?
Well, it was a great group of guys to coach, Rebecca. We were blessed to have 3 terrific seniors, Derek Glasser, Jaron Shipp, and Eric Boateng. And then Ty Abbott had a great year for us, first team all-conference. And Trent Lockett made the all-freshman team. So guys just kept playing together and working hard.
This year, Coach has got 5 stellar freshmen coming in. Which guy do you think is going to step up? Who are we going to see develop the most quickly?
Well, we have a lot of unanswered questions yet, not having started practice, but I like the group as a whole. They have a lot of energy, they're excited to learn, and I really like the early chemistry have. The guys seem just to naturally really get along.
Big news this week, Colorado coming into the conference year early. Coach, what does that do for the basketball program once you become the Pac-12?
Well, I think Commissioner Scott has a great vision for our conference, and I'm really excited listening to him in meetings, lay out his blueprint, his strategic plan. Colorado and Utah both represent great areas of our country, give us additional markets, so we're looking forward to it.
Thanks so much, Coach Barry.
All right, thanks very much, Rebecca. And the opening kickoff in the second half, they were going to run a reverse, but the kick was so far over on the side, and I think a fumble, and I believe the Sun Devils might have this. They're saying they do. Grady was the returner. No sign from the official yet. Yes, Arizona State football. Well, a big break to start the second half for the Sun Devils. Barry Tompkins, Petros Papadakis alongside, telling you about it, what a game it's been, and it starts out that way in the second half, Dave.
Well, this is a way to get the crowd back in the game. Just kind of got stood up there, and the ball pops out. Not a mistake you can make on the road, like Chip Kelly told Rebecca at the end of the first half. This is like a World Cup setting. The crowd is in a delirious state.
I think that was going to be a reverse to the Michael James, and a quick toss. And out in front of the intended receiver, Miles, was 3. Well, let's take a look at our halftime who to watch stat feature. We talked about a couple of guys right at the beginning of this program, Michael James and Stephen Threed, and they both made a little name for themselves.
Stephen Threed has stepped up with his leadership, transferring a few different places, but his teammates trust him at A-State. And Michael James, injured in his upper body, it seemed, in the second quarter, but what an explosive back. What a game changer.
And he is back now. This is Marshall on the carry inside the 15, doing it without his hat.
That's scary.
Kenny Rowe got taken for a ride that time. They're going to mark him, though, back at the 16-yard line. It'll be game 4.
Cameron Marshall is the most physical back that the Sun Devils have. Big hit laid on him there by Josh Cadu. He falls forward. I think nobody hit his bare head.
3rd down and 6. Threed, give to Marshall. He's got a first down and more to the 5-yard line. Pazinger and Boyette on the stop, but a great call.
Cameron Marshall does a great job coming through the hole. You're going to see how he kind of braces his body for the hit as he comes through the contact zone and really turns his legs, and that's why he breaks tackles. Helmet off or on.
Marshall again, not this time, trying to cut back, and he's wrapped up by Kenny Rowe, who's having a very nice game defensively from Oregon. So they'll mark it back at the 6-yard line, a little short of the 6-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal for Stephen Threed. 28-24, the Ducks lead the Sun Devils, just getting started here in the second half. 600 yards of offense in the first half. Threed to throw to the end zone, and flags all over the place. Taylor was the intended receiver. They're going to get Talmadge Jackson III on the interference call.
I think he's unhappy about it.
Would you say?
Well, Stephen Threed's had great communication all night with Kerry Taylor, trying to go for the back shoulder this time, but the ball's a little off and he tries to get over the top.
Defense, number 37, Ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
So a first and goal at the 2. It would have been third down and goal at the 6.
He grabbed Taylor around the waist instead of going for the ball, and I think that's why he drew the flag. But it is a tough call because both guys are wrestling for position there.
So here they go out of that. This is that pistol formation again. Straight handoff to Marshall, nothing good. And a fumble, I believe. And I think Oregon has it. They do. Marshall spit the football up, and the Ducks have it. And so a fumble is returned with a fumble, and Oregon is going to have it deep in their own territory.
Spencer Pasinger comes up with it, a big playmaker on the Oregon defense. Another mistake that just can't be made. This is the second trip into the red zone that Arizona State's had in this game where they haven't been able to make it. Zach Clark has been in the backfield all night. Forces the fumble. Here comes Oregon's offense.
And Michael James back in the ball game. As Spencer's pointed out, he had what appeared to be a hand injury in the first half. And this is James, not much. Brandon McGee turned him inside and then got some help from his friends. About a yard. Think about Michael James. I mean, you'll get him 4, 5, 6 times in a row, then he'll bust one for about 60. And again, it's James, and again, nothing doing. Maybe another yard. It's going to be third down and 8. Lawrence Guy. I haven't called that name a lot, but he's been in the middle of a lot of things tonight.
He's the best defensive lineman Arizona State has. Jamar Robinson also involved. A little bit of an exchange problem. Between Darren Thomas and Michael James.
So third and 9. And it's James again on the other side this time, and again, same result. Which is to say nothing. Montez perfect with plenty of help. And a very quick 3 and out for the Oregon Ducks. The Sun Devils should get decent field position. Rice will come on. He'll be kicking with his heels on the end line. Miles, the deep man for Arizona, stands at his own 48-yard line.
Still a missed opportunity by Arizona State. They were thinking touchdown.
All kinds of things.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 35. Half the distance, still fourth down.
That'll take it back to the 1-yard line. Of course, it shortens. A kicker normally needs 14 yards, and he's going to have about 11 now. You can see his heels will be right on the end line.
That's not a comfortable place for anybody.
Puts a premium on the snapper also. And he's hearing it from the crowd as well. He does get it out of there. He drives this. Miles has to back all the way back to his own 42-yard line. Flag is down. Miles across midfield about the 48. 54-yard punt. Great punt from deep in his end zone by Rice. The combo made the tackle, and now we'll see about the flag.
During the run back, illegal block in the back. Number 3 of the return team. Penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. First down.
Well, Oregon has to be very happy with that because they will get Arizona State backed up into its own territory at least, and it didn't look as though they would from their own 1-yard line. We're coming back. Welcome back. Nice crowd on hand here at Sun Devil Stadium. Crowd about 60,000, they said. And I'll tell you what, this whole crowd is into this game, and why not? Been a great football game.
And they don't want to leave disappointed. We talked about missed opportunities. ASU missed a field goal by Thomas Weber. 2 empty trips inside the 5-yard line so far.
And this time, movement. So Sun Devils going further back here. Second half starting out a little bit sloppy on both sides of the ball.
False start. Offense, number 71, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, these are both well-conditioned football teams. There's no question about that. They're both very prepared, very well-coached football teams. But this kind of heat, this early in the season, this kind of pace, it's going to affect you. There's no getting around that.
So it'll be 1st and 15. Ball back at the 27-yard line. Threet to put it up in trouble. And down he goes back at the 17-yard line. 4th sack of the game for the Ducks, and give this one to Brandon Bear.
Brandon Bear, a dominant force, the interior for Oregon. Really just swallowing up Threet on this play. Josh Cadu with the initial pressure, forcing Threet to step up, and when he stepped up, defensive tackles for Oregon have been there.
And to give again to Marshall. Marshall almost broke that, but was stopped after a gain of about 5. And it's still going to be 3rd down, the whole bunch, 17. Comes Fluger. Threet in trouble again. Hit as he threw, and it was almost picked. Kenny Rowe is really coming hard. Now late flag. Now let's see about this.
Chip Kelly way out on the field there.
It sure is. He's telling his team to decline this penalty, but I think it may be a
There is
dead
no
ball
foul
penalty.
on the play for an ineligible downfield. The ball was touched behind the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you what, both these tackles for Arizona State are having big trouble with Kenny Rowe and Terrell Turner and the edge rushers for Oregon. There's Threet taking a big hit. Bryce Schwab that time giving up the pressure. Kenny Rowe has been back there all night.
So now it'll be Hankins to come on to the punting again. He's been very effective. .46, 63, and 57 yards so far on his 3 punts. Kenyon Barner, the deep man for Oregon, stands at his own 22-yard line. And he hits this one pretty good too. Barner may have room. Now he fumbles it, and now he loses it, and it's still loose in a scramble, and Oregon gets it back. And boy, did the Ducks dodge a bullet right there.
Wonder how fast Kenyon Barner's heart is beating right now. He had 2 chances at that ball and got it back.
We'll take a timeout. 9:59 left, 3rd quarter. Oregon 28, Arizona State 24. And we welcome you back. 28-24 ball game, just under 10 minutes. Still a game. It's all teed up. Waiting for somebody to take it. We'll see if the Ducks can. Give this to James again. Nothing doing. James 4 carries here in the second half, and absolutely nothing.
Arizona State's defense seems to be getting their run fits pretty well right now. Brandon McGee on the tackle that time. Michael James having a tough time finding some space here in the second half. Craig Gray, defensive coordinator, coaching them up at halftime.
There's James again, and again. Sun Devils are there. Now 3rd and long once again. Injured Oregon Duck. James in this half, 5 carries, 4 yards.
You see the elusiveness there of Vontez Burfict, the middle linebacker. Just great at running around blocks, getting through blocks, and that's LaMichael James.
Went out earlier in the first half.
He's cramping.
Yeah, just a cramp. Well, it's very hot here, and needless to say, important to hydrate. I'm not saying James isn't. He's been taking some shots. Well, Pac-10 fans, get ready for the college football weekend with Pac-10 Crackback. It's presented by Bank of the West, a 1-hour weekly radio show. It's hosted by our old pal Steve Fiziak and my best pal Petros Papadakis. That's your source for Pac-10 news, updates, all kinds of information, everything you want to know about the Pac-10. Listen to it on Sirius XM, channel 142, and other local radio stations as well. Check your local listings for the time, the station in your area. Well, Michael James limping off a little bit, but I'm quite certain it's just a cramp, and I expect we will see him back. Meantime, a 3rd down and 8. Thomas, quick pass, wide open. Barner, 1st down and more. Barner out of bounds to the 33-yard line. Montez perfect, runs him out. Just a simple pitch and catch.
Well, great recognition of the blitz by Darren Thomas, getting into his hot read, which was Kenyon Barner. Barner did a good job getting his head around, getting ready for the ball.
Want to go quick this time. It's Barner, he's surrounded. No better result for him than for his predecessor, James. Lawrence Guy, you know, as I mentioned, he's one of those guys, you don't mention his name often, but when you do, he's makes no doubt about it. Play fake this time, pass outside, and it's caught by Justin Hoffman. Make that 2-0. 2-0 will have another 1st down at the 45-yard line.
You can see when yards are gained by both offenses in this game, it's because they're in rhythm. It takes one big play and they start playing fast. They start moving. You have a hard time lining up. Oregon's going fast again, and Arizona State just trying to line up.
Play fake again. The pass wide open is Huff. Huff at the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Ducks. 54 yards.
Omar Bolden, Eddie Elder, safety on that side. Bid on it. Bid on the fake. All of them looking at each other, wondering what happened. Let the freshman, Josh Huff, from Houston, Texas, get behind him. He is their deep threat. That was pretty deep.
I'll say it was 54 yards. That was a long drive, 1 minute and 47 seconds. Traffic point now is up, and it is good. And with 8:12 remaining in the 3rd quarter, it is the 35-24 Oregon lead. And I think very important for the Sun Devils to have an answer here. Take a look at our freecreditscore.com scoring drive. 6 plays, 80 yards, $147.
The difference in the game so far, Arizona State just 1 touchdown and 4 red zone opportunities at Wisconsin last week. Tonight, 1 for 3, and here it is again. The pump fake by Darren Thomas, very good. Not a picture-perfect throw, but it got the job done, and Josh Huff does a good job adjusting, relaxing, and making the catch.
So the Sun Devils, I think, in a situation now where they can't afford to come up empty.
Well, that's what's happened thus far. When they look at the tape of this game, no matter what happens, they're going to look at those 2 times they were inside the 5, the missed field goal, and they're going to say, they had a lot more points out of that.
Yeah, it's starting to be a plague. It happened last week. It's happened this week. Now the ball blows off the tee. Still very toasty warm here at Sun Devil Stadium, especially inside this oval down on the field. 95 degrees.
No longer triple digits.
That's cool. High end of a red for Lewis at the 5. Got a gap. Lewis tried to take to the outside. Bobby made the wrong choice, and he stops at the 28. That's right now. Go for a Phillips Television game break with Darren Horton. Darren.
20-64.
Yeah, I would say Ypsilanti. There's a lot of excitement in Ypsilanti over that game. I know that. Of course, it all went away. What about the first quarter? Pac-10 at least schedules its gimme games a little bit earlier in the year.
Oregon's defense really had their way. Kenny Rowe coming off the edge. Dan Knapp and Bryce Schwab, both Sun Devil tackles, have had a very difficult time with the speed on the edge. And when Stephen Threed has stepped up, the tackles have been there to clean up the mess.
There's another fumble there to make the stop and keep it that way as Miles fumbled. And the Ducks just did not allow him to go any further. Now it's starting to get to be a pattern here, and you talked about the Oregon defense and what a good job they're doing. Arizona State's last 4 possessions: punt, fumble at the 3-yard line, and a punt. Now a 3rd down and 10. Threed steps up, fires, and incomplete. Great coverage by Boyette again. And he reminds you that he's there.
He is a big hitter and a guy who played last year because of an injury to TJ Ward. And after that, they just couldn't get him off the field. He made such an impact. Pflugrad flashed like he was open, and Threed delivered the ball, but right on top of his upper body was John Boyette, who went for the ball right through the body of Aaron Pflugrad.
So Hankins again will come on to punt. Barnum will be deep. This one's a little shorter. It's going to bounce at the 40. Barner takes a big hop at the 28, but he has no place to go, and he's forced out of bounds at the 32-yard line by Alden Darby. We'll take a timeout. 6:52 left, 3rd quarter. Ducks 35, Sun Devils 24. Plenty more to come from here in Tempe. Ducks by 11 with the ball. Let's go to the sideline and Rebecca Harlow. Rebecca.
Well, guys, no news is good news for the Oregon Ducks. Michael James walked off the field, reached for the water bottle, and not for the trainers. He's doing fine down here. After that last touchdown, he went celebrated with his teammates. Things are loose and light on the Oregon sideline.
As there should be, an 11-point lead. That did just look like cramps for Michael James. Play fake this time. Stepping up, throwing deep. He's got Mail out in front, and he overthrew him.
That's a part of the game that will improve for Darren Thomas as he becomes more comfortable as Oregon's starting quarterback. Thomas, of course, in a long battle in camp and all through the spring with Nate Costa to become the starter, replacing Jeremiah Masoli, who's now at Ole Miss. Mail with the stop, turn, and then right up the sideline. Beautiful route. And there's Darren Thomas's reaction. He knew he had Mail wide open. Great route.
This time Thomas on the keep, and he'll get it up to about 34, and no more than that. Montez Burfict, who has made some big plays in this game, and you know, as we expected, he's made a couple plays I'm sure he'd like to have do-overs on, but for the most part, he is what you discussed.
He's always around the ball, and he's the top NFL prospect for Arizona State this decade. Corona, California, Centennial High School. He is a physical tornado out there. Love to watch him play.
Quick pass to Mail, and Mail drops it, and very uncharacteristic. Thomas hung in there pretty good to make that throw. Lawrence Guy had him all wrapped up.
This has been a good test for this great Oregon offense, this very physical, very fast, very explosive, swarming Arizona State D. It's been a great matchup all night.
So Rice to punt. Line drive kick. Miles runs up, takes it, and is popped. And did a great job just to hold on to the football.
You saw who hit him.
Kenyon Barner.
I mean, that's one of the better skilled players on Oregon's team, and there he is running down on special teams. When you have athletes, and they don't get tired, let them play. And interesting collision there. Both guys loading up for the hit. Great job by Miles hanging on. Kenyon Barner and Jeff Mail, they're the gunners on Oregon's punt team.
Didn't have enough players on the field. Now he gets Marshall in the ballgame, so Marshall and Lewis set behind him. Now they send Lewis in motion. Treat over the middle. Catch made by Robinson and dropped. Hey, there's some serious hitting going on right now.
John Boyette really getting it cracking literally out there, and you look at the last 5 possessions for the Sun Devils, they've had a rough time. Oregon defense has stepped up and they've made some mistakes of their own. A few missed opportunities throughout the game for the Devils that really costed them.
7 out of 10. And this is caught by Bell, and that's going to be close to a first down, but I think by a yard short.
Sun Devils need a drive here. They need a first down desperately to stay within this football game. Oregon offense missed a couple opportunities of their own in the last drive. Could have had a touchdown to Jeff Mail.
Quick toss again to Bell for the first down. Arizona's going to win some football games. They may yet win this one, but they're going to win some games.
Yeah, A-State, much improved football team. Seem to be improving week in and week out. They've made some mistakes and hurt themselves, but those big receivers are great weapons.
This is in and out of the hands of Marshall. And that may be a lateral. They have not stopped this play. And there's not a signal for a touchdown yet. And now there is. Touchdown, Oregon. Heads up play by Boseo Lacombo. And no Arizona State player reacted to it.
Well, when you sling it out there in the perimeter, and Threed has been throwing those on a line, and you throw them to backs, there's Marshall bubbling. That is a lateral. Great call by the officials. Marshall makes the age-old mistake of looking forward before securing the football, looking to run. And a really unfortunate play for the Devils, and a great job by Oregon not giving up on the play.
I think they're going to review this, but they have not officially said they are. Arizona State calls a timeout, and
Threed's upset.
yeah, he should be.
It's a nice throw. You want to put it right on the back. We always talk about that. Good job by Marshall, really bubbling. And that's a backwards pass. He was clearly 2 yards behind the passer. There it is again, and look at the trajectory of the ball. That's a lateral.
No question.
Great job by Oregon not giving up on the play.
Heads up play by Boseo Lacombo, who scored the touchdown. I mean, this is another one of these guys did not play football. He came from the Congo when he was 9 years old, moved to Montreal. Just started playing football when he was in high school.
And you saw that wide shot of all 22 players there. Everybody on the Sun Devils offense stopped. Nobody on the Oregon defense stopped. They scooped and scored.
So Stephen Threed, obviously, you can see his shoulders drop.
Now you're going to see the trajectory of the ball going backwards, definitely. And watch all these Oregon defenders. Watch them all. They all move to the football. They all run. And you see the football just land there. Most everybody in red is stopped. Everybody in white still going. Sun Devils took the timeout hoping to get a booth review, but it's pretty clear.
He's challenged, so I don't think he's going to win the challenge, but Dennis Erickson has challenged, and here's a call.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Arizona State is charged with timeout, and Arizona State loses their right to challenge any further play.
31-yard return for the touchdown. 27 unanswered points now for the Oregon Ducks, almost like they did at Tennessee.
Kind of a desperate effort by Coach Erickson to challenge, but that's what he had to do in that situation. That is a very costly mistake by Cameron Marshall.
So still conversations on the field. Try for point is up, and it is good. And it is a 42-24 Oregon lead. Let's take another look at it. You'll see it's a lateral pass.
He's at the 32.5-yard line, throwing it backwards. And he's right there.
That's awful close.
Back on the 32, close, but still a lateral.
Yeah.
Marshall and Threed should both know the trajectory of the ball and go after it. You have to in that situation. And that is a risk you take by making that a big part of your offense, especially when you throw the ball on a line like that. They've done it to all three backs that they've played in this game. Miles, Cameron Marshall, and DeAndre Lewis have all run those routes, and Threed has delivered the ball well.
Well, the Duck is liking it, and why not? Arizona State led this ball game 24-14 with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Since that time, 4 unanswered scores by the Oregon Ducks.
Oregon's like a flood. They just keep on coming, and it's hard to hold back for an entire game.
Twisting short kick. Golden backs up, takes it to the 8-yard line. Middle grips it like a party that gets the outside and is forced out of bounds to 32. Time now for a Phillips Television game break. Once more, let's check in with Darren Horton. Darren. Yeah, 10-9. Now, who'd have thought that game was going to end like that?
You had to know Arizona, after that big emotional signature victory over Iowa last Saturday, was going to let down a little. They hang on to win. They have a wacky relationship with Cal.
Yeah, they do. Always strange games. Here's an out too short, intended for Pflugrad. The Bears, incidentally, missed a field goal that would have given them a 12-3 lead with 2.5 minutes to go in that game.
Now we're getting into the meat of the Pac-10 schedule now. It's going to be Oregon, Stanford next week, and these are intriguing games. They can all go any which way. Wide open is this conference.
Straight ahead this time, Lewis, and Lewis will get to about 39. Pickup of about 6, maybe 7. First and 10 line is brought to you by Phillips Televisions. Second down and 3, or the third down and 3 now for the Sun Devils. Threed throws underneath, catch made by Taylor. Taylor tried to get the outside, couldn't, but he did get the first down at the 48-yard line. That's the first down in a long time.
Well, this is important for Arizona State, just to get some confidence back in this football game, and just going forward, they need it right now. Doesn't get much more deflating than that last turnover and scoop and score by the Ducks.
Threed in trouble, now he rolls away, points downfield, throws underneath, incomplete, intended for Mike Willie. So second down and 10 at the 48-yard line now. Give straight ahead to Lewis. Lewis pops it. Lewis gets to the outside, now cuts it inside. Still on his feet at the 30 and dragged down at the 27-yard line by John Boyette.
This is a good back. This is a very good back, and I like watching him run. Just a freshman. look at the fire in his legs and how live his body is when he moves up and down the field. Very difficult to tackle. He's all limbs and leads with his head. DeAndre Lewis is a star.
Great blocking up front. 8 carries, 99 yards now for Lewis. Play fake, 3 steps up, throws intercepted, flag down. And it's going to be Talmadge Jackson, and Jackson may get it all the way back, but it's not going to matter, I don't believe. Flag is down. 2 flags are down back at the 16-yard line. So I believe this is going to be interference against Talmadge Jackson.
Well, Chip Kelly's on the sideline right on the 50 saying that ball was tipped. And if it was tipped, that means contact is okay with the receivers.
That's right. That's right.
A tip would not absolve defensive holding.
Defense, number 37. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Take a look, see what you think.
Talmadge Jackson versus Kerry Taylor. They've been battling all night. Just a little bit of hand checking going on. I don't know if Talmadge threw him by. The ball was in the air.
I don't know. I didn't see much.
How about Stephen Threet flying in and trying to force a fumble at the end of that play? He's a big guy. 6'5", 240.
So instead of the pick and Oregon's ball deep in Arizona State territory, Sun Devils will have a first down at the 16-yard line. Lewis again gets to the edge. To the 15, to the 10, inside the 10, to about the 9-yard line.
DeAndre Lewis on the carry.
Anthony Gilden runs him out. That puts Lewis, the freshman, up over 100 yards tonight.
Really impressed with him. He started out the game with a long touchdown run to put his team ahead. When you're a true freshman playing early in your career in 100-degree heat, after that, you might just want to sit on the bench and say, I'm done for the day. Those long runs take a lot out of you. This kid is still coming.
Little movement once again. Errors starting to mount now for the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Dead ball, false start, offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, here's what all kind of got it started in the second half. Fumble early on.
Cameron Marshall gave it up. Spencer Pasinger, the Will linebacker, fell on it. That took the momentum away from the Sun Devils after an Oregon turnover.
So second down, the ball back at the 15-yard line now, so it's 2nd and 9. Threet straight back, wide open, and he missed him. Kerry Taylor had 6 in his pocket.
Says it all right there, the look on Dennis Erickson's face. Taylor, blown coverage by the Ducks. No other explanation for why Cliff Harris would just let Kerry Taylor go right to the middle. No help inside from any safeties. Just missed him.
So now 3rd down and 9. It's a big play here. And they go right back over the middle. Touchdown, Mike Willie. That's the way to make amends.
They needed that very badly. The Sun Devils been working the perimeter so hard, but the middle of the field has been wide open. Threet's not going to miss that one. Threads it right in there. Kenny Rowe just misses tipping it. Big receiver Mike Willie leads that big body in.
And Weber's try for point is up and good, and the Sun Devils get within 11. Here's another look at it, and I'll tell you what, he really did have to thread the needle. This ball could have been picked.
Like Chip Kelly told Rebecca right after the first half ended, he likes the ball that Stephen Threet throws, and he can put a lot behind it. Zipping it in there to big Mike Willie, and This might be the biggest receiving core in the Pac-10. And with size comes physicality. And big celebration.
Big celebration.
Let's go. Hey, get that
Says a
ball
lot
back
about
up.
3, and he missed a wide open receiver on virtually the same play. Comes right back, gets it to Willie for the score.
He came here to Arizona State to compete, and that's what he's doing, involving these big receivers, and Willie looked good catching that ball. Now look out here, Oregon has mishandled 2 kicks this half already.
So the Sun Devils to kick it off. They trail by 11. Still plenty of time. 2:25 left, third quarter. High end-over-end kick. Barner runs up, takes it at the 6 and juggles it. Has to go back to the 3 to pick it up. And he was cracked as he crosses the 10-yard line. Barner had a little trouble with the handle. Time for a Phillips Television game break. Once more, let's check in with Baron Horton. Baron.
Very earlier today in South Bend, Owen Marisic scored a touchdown rushing. He also had this 20-yard interception return for touchdown. The Cardinals are now 4-0. We look ahead to next week. Number 17 Stanford will see the 6th-ranked Ducks. Among the big games we're looking forward to, number 8 Florida at number 1 Alabama. You think Texas might have been looking ahead as they get set to take on Oklahoma? Let's get it back to you, Barry.
Yeah, you know, I think either that or they're just not as good as advertised. Give it up for UCLA then. Give this time to James. James down the sideline, trying to get an angle, gets to the 40, and up to the 41-yard line. Eddie Elder runs him out.
Good job by Eddie Elder, hitting the angle on Michael James, respecting his speed. There's a flag down.
Yeah, it's coming back.
It's still fun to watch the speed of Michael James. So many momentum swings in this game.
Both teams a little bit sloppy here in the second half, in so much as penalties are concerned.
Well, it's hard to play at this pace. It's hard to play at this pace in this kind of heat.
So this is going to back the Ducks up to their own 7-yard line. Now first down and 20. James again. Not this time. Zaya Falahola, Jamar Robinson there. Falahola having a very good game. Both he and Lawrence Guy, 2 tackles for Arizona State, playing well.
Both defensive lines in this game, especially with the factor of the pace and the heat that we were just discussing, have really stepped up, played very well.
Thomas this time on the keep, gets across the 10 to the 13-yard line. Well short of the first down. And it'll be third down and long.
Another chance for the Sun Devils to take back some momentum here and force a punt.
Thomas straight back. Under pressure, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for the tight end Paulson, but a great job by Junior Onyeli, who has not played very much at all this year. He got just enough of Thomas to misdirect that pass.
Thomas really trying to zip it in there to his talented tight end David Paulson, who's had some big plays in this game. But the pressure stopped him just enough. Paulson still had a chance at the ball.
Rice to come on to punt for the 7th time in this game. They'll come after this, and a short kick by Rice. And it's going to hit and take an Oregon bounce, a really good Oregon bounce. That was about to go out of bounds at about the 50-yard line. Instead, it goes down at about the 38, a punt of 49 yards. Let's go to the sidelines of Rebecca Harlow. Rebecca.
Well, guys, as you can see behind me, there's some new life, some new energy down here on the Arizona State sideline, and it starts with Mike Willie. I caught up with him earlier this week, and he said, I've got sticky fingers, and it's because I carry that football with me everywhere. I take it to class, I take it to the grocery store, I sleep with it. I just want to feel that ball all the time. Well, after that touchdown, he addressed the student body, raised his hands, and said, "Come on, guys, we need you." They want to keep fighting.
3 catches, 31 yards, 2 touchdowns for Willie today. Over the top, Bell makes the catch, first down into Oregon territory at the 36-yard line. John Boyette with the tackle, gain of 26.
Bell looks a little shaken up on the play. Boyette, really a good tackler out there. Oregon very worried about the perimeter game, and that's opening up some middle lanes for Stephen Threet to thread that ball in there to his big receivers. That time George Bell coming up and making a play with Talmadge Jackson all over his back, and there you see the physicality of John Boyette coming in and taking out the hip and ribs. Bell, man, he's different. He's the kind of safety that you break through the line of scrimmage, or you end up in the middle of the field, in the open field, and your head's got to be on a swivel because you know he's coming, and you know he's. That's how Troy Polamalu was when I played with him. Even in practice, you just didn't want to be out there without knowing exactly where he was, because you were going to find out.
John Lynch, same kind of guy. Well, Bell leaves under his own power, so seems to be okay. Lewis and Miles, the setbacks now. Lewis in motion. Give it to Miles. Miles straight ahead. Got about 5, maybe 6, down about the 32-yard line. Give him 5. Terrell Turner on the tackle.
We haven't seen Stephen Threet in the zone read. We've seen Aaron Thomas just do it a couple times. Stephen Threet, we haven't seen him pull the ball out and take it himself at all in this game.
Lewis in motion again. They throw to Riggs. Lewis trying to get to the edge, drops the football. That's a fumble. And they're going to say incomplete pass. And I don't know about that. Lewis is hurt.
Looks like his legs got tangled up a little bit. He's had a great football game. Great start to his career at Arizona State.
Looked like he took a couple steps with the ball. There he's got possession. 1, 2.
Yeah, his
3.
legs got tangled up, and
moreover, it's a fumble.
Let go of the ball to hold on to his leg. Here he is again, and tripped over his own legs. He did secure the football. That's a catch.
Left ankle.
He did something that alarmed him, but he's up and moving. Scary moment for the young man.
Boy, it sure was, but I'll tell you what, they dodged a bullet with all of that, because that clearly was a fumble. Not called, however. So we come to the end of the third quarter, another action-packed quarter, still not out of the question for the hometown Sun Devils. They have the ball, they're driving, but they trail Oregon 42-31. Fourth quarter coming up. 15 minutes of football remaining in this one. It's a 42-31 ball game. Let's take a look at the stats. They are brought to you by eharmony.com. Oregon, 2 touchdowns in every quarter. Perfectly symmetrical. 337 yards of offense for Arizona in the first half, but not so much in the second. Nonetheless, they're piling up more yards than the Oregon Ducks, but the Ducks 2 defensive touchdowns, and that's the difference in the game.
I got to say it, UCLA had a great upset at Texas, and the Alabama comeback at Arkansas was exciting, but for momentum swings and scoring, we've had the best game of the day.
Great game. They're still discussing that last play. In my opinion, that was a fumble, but I don't know that they can reverse it.
Well, it was recovered by Casey Matthews.
Right.
And they blew the whistle, so he was headed to the end zone. Here's Lewis. Tripping over his legs, and the ball comes out. Was his backside on the ground? before the ball came out. Because that was the call on the field because they let the clock run out to end the third quarter.
So count his steps. 1, 2, 3 steps before the ball came out.
That was a catch.
I think so.
And Casey Matthews picked it up and the whistle blew.
So now let's see.
After review, it has been determined that the runner lost possession of the ball prior to being down. The fumble was recovered by Oregon. Therefore, it will be 1st and 10 for Oregon at the 32-yard line, and there are 6 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
See, it used to be that if the whistle blew, the ball was dead and it couldn't be reversed. Now, even though the whistle blew and the ball was dead, they will still give possession over to the team that recovered. And that's exactly what happened. Oregon takes the ball because Casey Matthews picked it up, even though he wasn't tackled. Ball's dead right there for the Ducks.
And actually, I mean, in its own way, this is a break for Arizona State, even though they lose a fumble, because that very likely could have been a touchdown.
It was a touchdown. That was another scoop and score for the Ducks right there. Casey Matthews, a guy that can really run.
4th turnover for Arizona State, so we're going back to the third quarter here for 6 seconds. Now, is this the right 32-yard line, or am I making a big mistake here?
Been an interesting few moments.
I think it should be at the other 32-yard line. Now a flag comes in. And of course, quarter can't end on a penalty, so we'll see. And now the officials having a discussion again.
Lots of long instructions for these officials. Third quarter still hasn't really ended.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 92. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
Jamar Jarrett.
We will extend the period for 1 untimed down.
We'll get one more play in the third quarter here.
So finally, the last play of the third quarter. And it'll be a short walk. It'll be 2 yards to the other side of the midfield line. That was LaMichael James for about a yard. And with that, the third quarter will come to an end. It's a 42-31 ball game. We know that. It has had a little bit of everything, hasn't it, P?
Well, I can say with almost complete certainty that now the third quarter is over.
That we know. Take a look at the CMAX coaches poll, and let's take a look at what has befallen the Sun Devils, and they're still in the game. 42-31, but look at all these things.
No question, Arizona State, much better football team this year than last year, but they still have a lot to clean up. The pick 6 for John Boyette. Fumble by Cameron Marshall, another miscue by Cameron Marshall.
Back to live action, another flag comes in as LaMichael James gets to the 46-yard line, but we'll see about the flag once more.
Holding, offense number 54. 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
So that will back the Ducks up.
It's Jordan Holmes, the senior out of Yuba City, California. Center at Oregon. very experienced offensive line for Oregon. They run the zone read scheme very good. These guys can all move very well, do a great job at influencing defensive linemen forward. So Darren Thomas can make the reads, his quarterback. Just a well-oiled machine, this offense, but they've had a little trouble here in Sun Devil Stadium. It's been their toughest test.
Third down and a long way. Little screen to 2-A, nothing good. Going to lose yardage. So the Sun Devils going to get it back.
Perfect is like a missile out there.
Comes away with it.
Watch Perfect just make the decision, leave his feet, and make the hit, and pull Tune down. Oliver Aaron also there, and in on the tackle. Perfect is cramping up, and Lawrence Guy is down on the field, and I think he's having a similar problem.
Same thing, yeah, he's cramping also. Well, I mean, this has been such a physical game on such a hot evening here.
It's been a long game.
Yes, it has, as we expected. Well, we talked about Vontez Burford coming out of Centennial High School in Corona, California, and actually tonight Shelly Lyons did not start, but all three of the normal starting linebackers, Shelly Lyons, Vontez Burford, Brandon McGee, there they are, back at Corona Centennial.
Needless to say, Corona Centennial, pretty good football team there.
I would imagine.
Inland Empire in Southern California.
They have 6 players on this team from Corona Centennial.
A few others all around the NCAA playing football.
Third down and a whole bunch, and the give straight ahead for about 2 yards. Jamar Jarrett makes the stop on the Michael James. So again, Rice will come on to punt. He's been out there a lot so far tonight, much more than he has been all year long.
This is his 8th punt, 9 the entire season for the Ducks leading to this game.
Miles will be deep. Rice hits this one. Miles lets it bounce, and it bounces out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. So the Sun Devils will have a long field, but the clock is no factor. They need 2 scores. Well, I mentioned that Boise State did what it needed to do, and they call it the Battle of the Blue. They have the blue turf, of course, up at Boise, and Oregon State, in order to prepare for that, get their team used to the surroundings in Boise, guess what they did? Of course.
Painted it blue.
Painted the turf blue.
Beautiful practice field in Corvallis, Oregon, right in the shadow of Reeser Stadium, and there it is. They painted it blue, and it helped loosen the team up going into a big game.
And there was a play that could have gone, but a screen unable to be handled by T.J. Simpson. Not an easy pass to throw that deep out. Threet got it there in a hurry.
Well, we asked Chip Kelly, the Oregon head coach, what he thought about that practice field being painted blue down the road in Corvallis, Oregon, and he said, watch, everybody will do it if it works.
That's right.
Oregon State fought pretty hard today.
They played well. Boise State's the real deal. And again, a big hit causes the incompletion. Mike Willie was there, but Anthony Gilden stuck him. The ball hung up there a little bit.
Good job by Gilden being right on top of Mike Willie, but that ball went off Willie's hands.
Numbers on Stephen Threet, approaching the 300-yard mark. Big play here now, 3rd down and 10.
They need to get this crowd back involved in the football game. They're still in it.
Blitz off the edge, and the pass caught by Willie. Big first down across the 40, and a flag. Pick up a 26 and a perfect ball. They came with a safety blitz that time. Eddie Pleasant was coming, and they threw right where he came from.
Personal foul. Defense, number 18, helmet-to-helmet contact. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, that's the way to make up ground in a hurry.
Anthony Gilden came in with the helmet. Nice catch by
call.
Willie. They're trying to protect the players this year. That's what they call an ear hole shot. And that's going to draw a flag now in college football.
Every time.
That play and penalty netted 42 yards.
Yep. Quick pass to Miles, and Miles can't hang on. Saw the blitz coming that time. If Miles was able to make that catch, he might have had some room.
I think Arizona State going to put a lot of practice time into those swing routes. Not really throwing him. He's been right on target, but Miles, Cameron Marshall, DeAndre Lewis, they've all had some trouble handling those balls from Stephen Threed. He might have to take a little something off him, but then you hang it up there and you risk an interception.
And that one was also very close to a lateral.
They all are.
It was a lateral because now it's 2nd down and 13. Here comes the blitz again. Threed steps up. Now he can run. He's got a little room. 45, good block. Steps out of one tackle and gets it down to the 39-yard line. Great block by Jamal Miles on bigger Brandon Bear.
Jamal Miles is 181 pounds. Brandon Bear, 272. Threed big and strong standing in the pocket. And look at Bear, 88. Miles coming in and cleaning him up. He's going to be proud of that in the film. Here it is again. It's about a 100-pound difference between those two young guys.
So now it's 3rd down and 5. Look out. Threed over the middle. Hit right as he threw. Now with a 4th down at the 39-yard line, what do you do here?
They got to go, but they're going to kick.
No hesitation on the part of Dennis Erickson. I would agree with you.
He started to get a little rhythm going offensively there. Remember, this is the longest Oregon has played with their starters in a game. They've been out in the first half, 3rd quarter of all their football games thus far.
Hits this one high, and it will hit at the 10 and take an Oregon bounce and be down at the 14-yard line. Only a 23-yard punt, but it does put Oregon deep in its own territory. They'll start at the 15-yard line, and they lead at 42-31. 12:48 remaining in the ball game. Oregon with the ball in the lead, 42-31. We'll take it to the sidelines once more, and Rebecca Harlow.
Well, a lot of questions right now about what's going on with Vontaze Burfict. I can tell you that the trainers took him aside. They took off his shoe. They cut the tape off. They were definitely evaluating his ankle. He's been re-taped. They're hoping that they can get him back onto his feet shortly. Of course, Arizona State needs his nastiness to close things out here in the 4th quarter, guys.
There's nothing if not a tough guy.
He's tough.
Big possession here, really, for both teams. Thomas throws a quick hitch to Mayo, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 17 by Omar Bolden.
You know, Barry, it's interesting because at halftime, Chip Kelly told Rebecca that it's like a World Cup game with the crowd, and then he said, and the injuries, maybe intimating that some Arizona State players were less than honest with their injuries, trying to slow down the pace of Oregon's offense. And we heard that accusation from Arizona State about Wisconsin last week, and that might be the only way to combat these fast offenses.
Thomas over the middle, Paulson with the catch, flag down. That's going to cost a little bit more, and there again, it's that targeting call. I'm certain that that's what it'll be. Eddie Elder, I think, is the guilty party this time.
Well, 4 flags went flying, and I think everybody saw the same thing. There's Paulson, and he's in a vulnerable position, and here comes Elder, and that's the same thing we saw in the last possession the other way. Let's listen to it.
Personal foul. Defense, number 2. Targeting an opponent. 15-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down. Incomplete. Didn't want.
Well, you're going to see a lot of it in college football. Here it is again.
You want your defensive backs to be physical, and you want the receivers to think about it when they catch the ball, but you can't hit above the net. You're going to get a flag now. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Got to protect the players. And the replay refs came in the booth before the game, and we talked about targeting, and it's a big point of emphasis this season. And it's the right thing to do. You got to protect players.
So a first down and a give to James, and James unable to really get on track, but for that 140-yard run, Falahola wraps him up.
Generally, Arizona State has done a very nice job with their run fits.
First and 10 line brought to you by Phillips Televisions. James again, now he bounces it outside. Has no place to go, and again a flag comes in. Jamar Robinson, good job to play the contain.
Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Carson York.
Okay, so you can...
Sophomore out of Coeur d'Alene.
Montez Burfict back in the game. That's his retained ankle. He's been in and out all game. But mostly in.
Yeah, he's limped out a couple times, but comes back. He's a warrior, there's no question. And they did decline that penalty. It was a loss of about 3 yards on the play, so they will not give him that down back.
I think that's a wise decision given the ability of this Oregon offense to pick up big yards in a hurry.
So now big play, it's third down at about 13. Play fake. Thomas steps up, goes deep, nobody there. And a flag is down in the backfield. And another holding penalty. And I'm sure they'll refuse this too.
There's a world of time left in this game for Arizona State.
Absolutely.
Just under 12 minutes. Arizona State, if they can get some offense going, and Stephen Threed has shown that he can lead them down the field, they can make this very interesting down the stretch and get this crowd back involved.
Yeah, and your point is really well taken. This crowd has not been as involved in the game since Oregon last scored.
Well, let's be honest, it's hot and it's been a long game, and everybody's getting worn out.
Nicest punt, a high kick. And they will let this one hit, and it hits into the end zone barely. So the Sun Devils almost made a bad judgment. In fact, they'll start at the 20-yard line. They trail by 11. Time not a factor. 11:44 left in the ballgame. 11:44 remaining to be played. It's a 42-31 ball game. Up in the Oregon coach's booth, the brain trust trying to put this one away, salt this one away. It has not been easy. Nick Aliotti and the defense, he's the defensive coordinator, of course, and has done a marvelous job with this team. And tonight, for Nick and his staff, it's been a case of bend but don't break.
They've done a great job, and Nick Aliotti, Oregon defensive coordinator since 1999, 19th season overall at Oregon.
Threed steps up, throws complete. Mike Willie again on the receiving end, and a pickup of 16.
Threed's really been making his balls over the middle, throwing the football. John Boyette been making the the Arizona State receivers pay when they catch the ball too. Mike Willie's been some good catches.
And here's Lewis up the gut again, trying to get it to the outside, almost overran his own man. Took it across midfield down to the 48-yard line. Eddie Pleasant on the stop, and they went hurry up that time, and Oregon wasn't really ready.
And this is the longest the Duck starters have ever played in a football game in 2010, and watch how the pace is going to quicken by Arizona State.
ASU now up over 500 yards of offense in this game. Trips right. Give it to Marshall. Marshall left side, couldn't quite get through the hole. Hole was there, but Marshall couldn't quite get to it. Got about 3. Talmadge Jackson and Keloni Kalakipi tackle for Oregon. Miles comes into the ball game. 2nd down and 7. Now 3, gonna run, got plenty of room, 40, 35, 30, 25 and out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Boyette was head on him and knocked him out of bounds.
Reed lowered his head on the most physical player on the field, probably John Boyette. Reed is a real competitor. Watch the lane open up. He had Jamal Miles. Look at this lane. Reed just taking it right up the seam and lowering it right on Boyette. He's tough.
At the 20-yard line. So again, Arizona State threatens. They trail by 11. The time is not a factor. Over the middle, Miles, and it's intercepted. Picked off in the end zone by Talmadge Jackson. 3 again, he threw it to the wrong shoulder. He'll make 4 or 5 great passes. And all of a sudden,
that one was off, and it could have been a bad throw by Threed. It could have been a little bit of a miscommunication between him and Miles. Miles might have curled a little much. More than Threed expected him to. Miles is not an every down receiver. He's kind of a running back hybrid player. Threed knew it.
So 5 turnovers. 3 times they've come up empty in the red zone. The difference in the game.
Oregon has 2 defensive touchdowns, while ASU has had 2 inside the 5 empty trips.
And here's James, and James is cut down again. ASU defense done a great job on Michael James.
ASU has played great in this game, Barry, but you're not going to beat a top 10 team making mistakes like that and having empty trips to the red zone, let alone inside the 5-yard line, which they had twice before.
ASU in need of 2 scores, and the clock not really a factor.
Still time.
Yeah, still time, but it's ticking down. Give this time to James, trying to get to the edge. Great stop that time. Great tackle by Max Tabak. And there is a Sun Devil down once again.
There you see James. You just got to get him down any way you can. And job by Tabak getting to those ankles.
21 carries, 71 yards.
It's Lawrence Guy down again.
Guy is someone that this team really needs. He does appear to be in some pain. Gets to his feet and is able to at least put a little bit of weight on that right leg. And so that's good news. Around and about the Pac-10 conference today, and not just beating him, but beating him up.
Physically, Patrick Larimore, the middle linebacker for UCLA, has emerged as a defensive star. They found their identity, and that identity is a physical identity. Running the ball and hitting big on deep.
They have playmakers on defense, UCLA. They're going to be a factor. Oregon trying to use the clock, I think, here. By far the longest count they've used today. And Thomas hit as he throws, and Mel can't catch up to him. And that would have been a touchdown had Thomas not been hit by Burfict.
Montez Burfict coming on a blitz there. Supposed to be picked up in the backfield. Watch him. Well, Michael James trying to cut him down, and that is athleticism.
I'll say.
You just can't coach that. He's like Superman out there. Shelly Lyons putting pressure too.
Big time play. So once again, Rice on to punt. 10th punt of the game. Rice really hits this one. Miles backs up to the 25. Goes down at about the 28. So a long field once again But a 3-and-out created by the Arizona State Sun Devils. They have it back. They trail by 11. It's the Ducks 42, Sun Devils 31, 8:19 remaining in the game. Welcome back. Barry Tompkins, Petros Papadakis, Rebecca Harlow here at Sun Devil Stadium. 42-31 ball game. The Ducks lead the Sun Devils. Sun Devils have it back. A little inside handoff to Lewis. Lewis gets ahead to about the 35, a gain of about 7. I mean, it's one of those strange games, P, in that Arizona State has outgained Oregon by 165 yards, almost 170 yards actually, and they still trail by 2 scores.
It's because they've made mistakes.
Down the field, a catch made by Brandon Smith and out of bounds. I beg your pardon, Kerry Taylor, and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So Threet continues to move his team. Gain of 24. Problem is they've kind of stubbed their toe when they've gotten into red zone. Had a pick in the end zone just a moment ago. Here they come again. Threet steps up, rolls to his right, still looking, and finally has to put it away, and his receivers really didn't. He was trying to get his receivers to go down the field, and nobody did.
This is an offense that's new. Noel Mazzoni is a new offensive coordinator, and they're still trying to find their way through it, but they look like they have a pretty good idea of who they are and what they want to do. Exciting backs, Cameron Marshall, more physical, DeAndre Lewis, a really good freshman, and there's Mazzoni. Called a pretty good game, I thought, but they've made some mistakes.
Got something out of nothing, though. Look out. Blitz comes. Here's a swing to Lewis. Lewis cuts it up the middle, gets the 30, 25, and a first down. Kenny Rowe makes the stop. Threet doing a nice job identifying the blitz and unloading.
Andre Lewis might be the Pac-10 freshman of the year before it's all said and done. And these hard angle swing passes, not been high percentage for ASU, but they've used them all night. They've seen something from Oregon on tape that has Noel Mazzoni committed to using them all game.
Look at 585 yards now. And coming up, this is the 98th play. And there's another pick. And that is just what has befallen Stephen Threet and the Arizona State Sun Devils. Just a little underthrown. Casey Matthews makes the pick. He had men open, just not to be.
The Oregon defense has playmakers, and they have made plays all season. And I think Arizona State is falling victim to their own pacing. They've played a little too fast for themselves, and Threet knew right away that he shouldn't have let that ball go. Casey
Erickson,
Matthews was shocked to get the ball.
I think he was. You know, a good night at the same time, a really tough night for that young man. James, and again, they're doing a great job on James, and again, it's perfect.
And there's still time for Arizona State, especially if they're going to continue to stop Oregon. And Oregon's trying to play slower right now. Michael James had a 40-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, and now just about 71 yards in the game. So congratulations to the Sun Devils thus far.
23 carries for 89 yards. So you take away the 40-yard run, that's 22 carries for 49. Really milk the clock here. Something they've not had to do this entire season. James again, and this time James pops it, almost popped it for the distance, but gets it ahead to about the 24-yard line. He's still short of a first down. Eddie Elder makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
This is an Arizona State defense that is still trying to find leaders, guys to emerge. Lost Mike Nixon, who was really their leader last season. Montez Burfict, great player, but hasn't really taken on the mantle of leading the team yet. They help each other out. They swarm to the ball.
Thomas again using the clock. Give to James again, and I believe he got the first down. So now the clock will become at least something of a factor with 5:26 remaining in the game. And a new set of downs for the Oregon Ducks.
A lot of tired bodies out there.
I'll say. Quick pass to Mail. Mail almost gets across the 35, about the 38, dragged out of bounds by Shelley Lyons. Close to another first down. I believe it will be a first down.
Great fake by Darren Thomas, really freezing the middle of the Sun Devil defense, able to get the ball out to the perimeter to Mayo.
Perfect, timed the blitz perfectly. I mean, that's a big time play that you don't find from a sophomore.
Well, he is just a wrecking ball out there, but when you milk the clock that long, it's pretty easy to know when the snaps come.
And he is down again.
2 A-State players down, 4 guys down on the field. Tired bodies.
Perfect has been in and out all night long. This time they're looking at his knee. Lawrence Guy is also down. It's the second time he's been down. Dennis Erickson, 8 wins against top 5 teams at Washington State. He beat then #1 UCLA at Miami. He did it all the time. And at Oregon State, he beat Oregon. But you can't make, quite honestly, can't make as many mistakes and hope to beat a team like Oregon.
No, but Arizona State has clearly shown that Oregon can be slowed, if not stopped. This game tape is going to be seen all over the Pac-10, and Stanford will be looking very closely as early as tomorrow morning because they're at Autzen next week.
So this is about the 3rd or 4th time that Vontez Burford has left. And this time they were looking at his knee, and Guy also leaves for the 2nd or 3rd time. Guy's case, I'm quite sure, is cramps. I'm not sure about Burfict.
Chip Kelly said it. Never going to talk about the weather. Weather doesn't matter. Where you're playing doesn't matter. They didn't talk about playing in Knoxville. They got in their indoor facility that they have on campus at Oregon. They're beautiful facilities. They turned up the heat in there. Practiced on Tuesday and Wednesday like that. They've played like it. They've attacked all game.
Yeah, they have. James again, a little spin move, stays on his feet. Almost did it again. That's the thing about this guy. I mean, you can stop him 20, 25 times, 26 times, he'll go 80.
Reminds me a little bit, and it's hard to make this comparison because the guy was so great, Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
Lose some yardage every once in a while and get stopped for a game, and then he just gash. And James is like that because he can play inside the box, but then he also has the ability to break very long runs because of his speed and eat up ankles.
So a 3rd and long. And the clock continues to run inside of 2:45. Quick toss this time, but kind of thrown behind Mayo, and he was unable to do anything. He did go out of bounds as well.
Good job by the A-State defense. Battered and bruised, no doubt, but forcing another Oregon punt. It's not been easy this year to do for anybody.
The 11th punt. gets this one and a fair catch. Called by Miles to the 8-yard line. So a long field for the Sun Devils. Now time for a game summary brought to you by DirecTV. 4 touchdown drives for Oregon that averaged 1 minute and 8 seconds. And the difference in the game, of course, 2 defensive touchdowns. Lots of yards for Arizona State, but not enough points.
We talked about the fatigue factor in this game. Both teams struggling through this game fatigue-wise, but there's some defenders for A-State rested, trying to catch their breath. They've done a good job forcing 11 punts by Oregon. That would have been unheard of coming into this game.
Blitz comes, Reed steps up, throws too tall. Oregon this year, and you see what they've done. New Mexico, that was 59-0 at halftime. Tennessee, they fell behind 13-3, then scored 45 unanswered. Portland State was, I suppose, the equivalent of Michigan playing Eastern Michigan. Toss over the middle and a catch made, but short of the first down.
Both teams, amazing, have had 96 plays on offense. 66 to 96. Oregon had 66. They had 96 plays.
And a first down, a catch made by Jarrell Robinson. Robinson's made all the tough catches tonight.
And that's 97. Oregon defense is going to be tired. I don't think they should have to run tomorrow. Jarrell Robinson's had a breakout game, though. Jarrell Robinson has had a breakout game coming off an injury.
Threet looking for help, and it is intercepted. Yet another time. 7th turnover of the game for Arizona State. And 4 interceptions. It's Cliff Harris who got that one. And now it's academic.
Tough night for Dennis Erickson. Watching his quarterback have some great moments, but also some tough ones. A lot of teaching to do after this one, I think, for both teams.
Arizona had 600 yards of offense. So now, 1:31. Arizona State only has 1 timeout remaining. Right up the middle goes James. He looks like he's still got a little something left, doesn't he?
He's ran the ball well, but Arizona State's done a good job defending him. But he's come all night with his normal fervor for flying up the football field. And I've been very impressed with the freshman running back for Arizona State, DeAndre Lewis. I think he's been great in this football game.
We have over 1,000 yards of offense in this game now, P.
Oof. Feels like it, too.
Now they'll just take a knee here as we're under 1 minute. They'll let the clock run down. I doubt Dennis Erickson will stop it. And they'll have to do this yet another time. And then it'll be in the books, and say what you will. Oregon has continued its perfect season. Not going to get any easier for them.
No, they have to take on Stanford, and that's 2 of the best offenses in the country facing off in Autzen Stadium next weekend. And for Arizona State, you got to say, smallest senior class in the Pac-10.
And they're going to win some games.
They're going to get better and better.
So Oregon kind of did what it needed to do, and was opportunistic, scored 2 defensive touchdowns, and come away with an 11-point win, and they put 42 on the board. Their lowest output of the year.
Just amazing what Chip Kelly's been able to do with this offense. Oregon was a great team under Rich Brooks. In my memory, is a great team under Mike Bellotti, but Chip Kelly's got them at a different kind of level with the speed and pace that they play and the way that they practice. It's just amazing.
Well, let's hear what he has to say right now. Chip Kelly with Rebecca Harlow. Rebecca.
Coach, 2 defensive touchdowns tonight for you guys. The difference in this ball game. Talk about their performance.
Yeah, they played really hard against a really good quarterback. It's the first time we've got to see him in person. I'm really, really impressed with what they're doing offensively here. You know, to win on the road in this league is very difficult, and to get out of here with a win, you know, everybody had to contribute for us, and we got a lot of things we got to clean up, but we're still 4-0. We get a chance to go back home. We got a really big Stanford team coming in.
145 rushing yards for Oregon tonight. Talk about Darren Thomas, his ability to adjust.
Yeah, Darren did a really nice job. Thought he managed the game really well. Again, he's got to be a factor for us in this stuff, and I think we're getting better as a team. We still got a long ways to go, but we're going to get on the plane as quick as we can and get out of here.
Stanford beats Notre Dame today. You're taking them on at home next weekend. What are you looking forward to in that matchup?
It's going to be a heck of a game. I watched their game today. Stanford's playing really, really, really well right now. Pac-10's tough. Every week is tough, and we get a chance to go home this week, and our crowd will be behind us, but it's going to be a hell of a football game.
Congratulations, Coach.
Right, thanks.
Barry.
All right, thanks very much, Rebecca. So Chip Kelly knows that, and I think he's absolutely right. He does. There's some work to be done, despite the fact that his team is 4-0. They do get the friendly confines of Autzen Stadium, though, next week. That's going to help. We'll come back.